What's going on, everybody? This is Lyno. I'm here with my boy Drew. What up, Drew?
What up, though?
Not much, man. I know it took us a little longer than expected, but we're going to be doing our reaction and review of the X-Men 97's episode 10. We're going to use Rockstar Games to kind of walk us through this because I'm tired of trimming and muting freaking copyright claims. We're just going to make this easier for us content creators out there. But going into this, man, how'd you like the ending of the this season of X-Men?
Uh, I liked it, man. You had the split up where some of them got sent to the future and some got sent to the past. I know they showed a bunch of cameos in that episode. It was cool. It was cool to me. I have a problem with it.
I the the anticipation that led up to the point, I was satisfied with that. And again, kind of like what you had mentioned, it was just really cool to see that this is really picking up from when X-Men had ended its last season, and how and to go along with the other series that were going on at the same time when X-Men 97 was out. Because like I mean, for some of you people that weren't born yet, but at that particular time, we had the Silver Surfer TV show, we had Fantastic Four, we had the Incredible Hulk, Iron Man, and Spider Man as well. And to see all these things going on at the same time, it, I mean, yeah, it just fit well. Like I still haven't forgot. I believe it was SSJ that pointed out on one of the earlier episodes. They even had the Watcher in the sky on the episodes, and that might kind of insinuate that might be like I think the Watcher's first appearance that from all of these shows that I just mentioned might have been with the Silver Surfer. But yeah, I know New Rockstars is going to reveal to us a bunch of Easter eggs.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, without further ado, let's get it going.
Stars, I'm Eric Voss, and this is a breakdown of X-Men 97, Episode 10, the season finale, Tolerance is Extinction Part 3. I cannot begin to explain what it has meant to me to see my point of entry to the Marvel world come back and grow up with me, and bring in so many other
The
corners
boy
of the world,
Daredevil,
including
Mr.
Daredevil,
Daredevil
Iron
from the
Man, Black
Spider-Man
Panther,
series,
Wanda and
School,
Quicksilver,
Iron
Mr.
Man 2.
Fantastic, Doctor Strange, Peter Parker and
Yeah,
MJ, Cloak and Dagger, Apocalypse possibly resurrecting Gambit as his Horseman Death, even Psylocke and Puck.
Yeah, that
We
is
thought
pretty
Psylocke
awesome.
was the only one who shows skin. Puck is like, screw that. Sun's out, guns out, and sky's out, thighs out. And thank all of you so much for joining me on this journey, waiting an extra day for breakdowns. I'll always remember it. But I'm so glad I did spend some extra time with this finale, because it did some amazing things with the character of Magneto that you really need a full day to just sit with and fully realize.
I ain't gonna lie, it was fire seeing Magneto and the
As
Professor.
we go through this
Oh
breakdown,
yeah,
I invite you
Those
to think of
scenes.
this episode in terms of Charles and
I'm with
Eric's
you when you're right.
shared shame, the power of water, and reflections. And
Found our guy.
He's perfect.
We're gonna need a flight.
by the way, to celebrate this amazing season of X-Men 97 and to recognize Magneto's good points, head on over to nerdriot.shop and support us by grabbing one of these Magneto Was Right shirts. And this whole theme of Magneto begins even in the opening seconds. Yes, that is the voice of Magneto. This finale is truly Magneto's
Hold on.
journey.
I got somebody I have to do. I'll be right back.
All right.
Mutant kind, back when the Old Testament didn't need a New Testament. It was just Testament. Then on to the X-Men intro, which we never skip because we can only truly enjoy these X-Men episodes after we've properly rocked out to Ron Wasserman theme music. And I can't believe I've overlooked this all season long. The opening frames of this, they updated the outer space shot from the 90s run so that it's not Earth beside two other bodies, it is just Earth with our moon, but they re-inked the moon to accentuate the blue area of the moon, which is explored in the Season 3 Phoenix Saga arc and gets revisited in this episode. And then of the insert shots in this opening sequence, the shot of Cable with Apocalypse from Season 4 Episode 18 Beyond Good and Evil Part 1 now carries greater weight as Insabadner and Apocalypse re-emerge this episode. But there's this
there we go.
shot of Charles and Magneto with White lab coats using their powers on these armed militants. This is from season 1, episode 3, Enter Magneto, when Charles recalls his past Magnus in the 60s working for a hospital in the unnamed country where Magnus was orphaned by war. Back in 1992, the animated series were unable to reference the Nazis or the Holocaust, but this season has been more overt about it, and they do some clever things in this opening scene that kind of bridges the two. But also in the opening sequence, as I pointed out last week, the fleeing humans between Magneto's mutants and Charles's X-Men have now been turned into pink-skinned Prime Sentinels, including that P. Letterman jacket guy with the flat top and the goatee, a character design that gets reused everywhere, and I think it actually might be Bo DeMayo's rendering of his high school self. And yes, Bo DeMayo was fired before the season began, and we still do not know why.
I don't really care
So
about
I'm
that,
not going
to be honest.
defend this guy until I know why he was fired. I'm sure
But he did do a
whatever
good
he
job
did,
with
you
this
could just blame
season of
it on
X-Men.
the
I'll at least
bastard.
say that about it.
Okay, we open with The Birds, 1965, Turn, Turn,
Yeah,
Turn, written by Pete Seeger, 1959, with lyrics taken almost verbatim from the book of Ecclesiastes. To everything there is a season, and a time to every purpose under heaven, a time to be born and a time to die, a time to plant and a time to pluck up that which is planted, a time to kill and a time to heal, a time to break down and a time to build up, and it goes on. Pete Seeger's additions for the song include the phrase turn, 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 and the closing line of the song, a time for peace, I swear it's not too late. So this is an Old Testament verse often interpreted as a plea for the balance in life, typical of King Solomon's wisdom, a suggestion that God knowingly designed the world with all things good and bad, and it's all part of a cycle. But Pete Seeger changes that into a hopeful call to transcend the forever wars of the 60s. Similarly, Charles swears it's not too late for Magnus to rediscover that time for peace, but this episode will ultimately swing back to the time to die, the time to kill, and the time to break down. Also interesting to note that in 1999, Seeger arranged for 45% of the songwriting royalties for this song to be donated to the Israeli Committee Against House Demolitions, which opposes the demolishing of Palestinian homes in the occupied territories, which probably includes whatever royalties Disney paid to
You
Sam
know
in
what?
this episode.
Oh, hold on. Let me
Magneto
pause
and
this.
Charles are in that bar that
Why do my fault? Why do Disney films just period have so much subliminalness in it, if that's such a word? Like I was watching like clips to where they were doing subliminal stuff even in the old school cartoons of like Lion King or even all the way down to McDonald's. Like it's dang near fascinating. It almost feels like everything is like pre-planned. Like how would they have these episodes have already been completed, and to talk about all these things right now to make it relative, like
Yeah, they probably do a lot of pre-planning.
I'm just talking about our whole world itself. Like this is crazy.
Yeah, I mean the stuff it's it really it goes beyond us really at this
It
point.
has to
Like
be.
they,
It has
they
to be.
they know what they doing.
Hmm.
They work with higher powers that control a lot of this stuff, and they do certain stuff. It's all part of an agenda.
Gotta be. Gotta be. There's no escaping it.
Magneto brought up a few times this season, where they first shared their dream as younger men. Since this scene begins with them unaware of each other's mutations, this would be set before that flashback in season 1, episode 3.
That's like
I think this war-torn area is East Germany, because even by 19...
it's this movie. It's called They Live. You ever see that?
They live? No. Break it down.
It's an old movie with Rowdy Piper. Basically, like in this movie, he find these like these people. I guess they was like a part of a cult or something. I don't know, but they were like a conspiracy group, and they had these sunglasses, and he ended up getting a pair of them. So when you put these sunglasses on, you see the reality of things. So like there's billboards, magazines, all the stuff that like we'll look at a billboard and it might be a billboard of McDonald's or something, but when you put the glasses on and look at it, it might say something like obesity or something, or I forget, but like the glasses just make you see what the real thing, what it's really doing to you. And then like he looked at certain people, and certain people was actually aliens
Oh
on like
damn.
some type of weird. Like if you want to, like if you want to, you can pull up at some point, like pull up a trailer of it or something, because they show a lot of that stuff in the trailer. But it's like that, like they basically do stuff that our subconscious picks up, but we not really aware of it. But
What
somewhere
up,
in our
Joni?
let's
You wanna hop in with us, Joni? I'll put the link. I got the link in the Discord as well. Well, yes, in here too.
yeah, come on, hop on in, Joni. Joni Little Fox. But yeah, yeah, the preview kind of you'll be able to see everything that I'm trying to say in the preview.
What's the name of the movie again?
It's called They Live.
They Live.
Yeah.
They Live movie. Okay.
I dang near need to watch that movie.
They Live. TH. Okay. It came out in
THY.
1988.
Yup.
Oh dang. Okay. Yeah, we can do that. Well, all right. We can get through this, but yeah, we can go that far. As far as talking about these, yeah. Hold on. You know what? We can just do it right now. All right. So you're saying in a sense that the majority of stuff that we see on the screen and possibly in this world, he said, why not? All right. He said he's about to join us. Yeah, like all this stuff has to be pre-planned, bro.
Oh yeah, it is.
I mean, how the Simpsons has always able to predict what's going to happen
Exactly.
in the future and its cartoons. Um, Music videos have always been able to hint towards our future. South Park spoke as of recently has been the cartoon that kind of lets us know the direction society is going to go, almost to where like they're trying to tell us secrets.
That's what it is. They can't like they say the devil can't do nothing without telling you first or showing you first. It's like that. Like they gotta put it in our face. They gotta find a way to tell us without telling us before they.
Mm.
So what better way to do it than put it in entertainment? You're not gonna. Most people are not gonna know or see or realize what it is until it happens. So they can show you something like the Twin Towers blowing up in a movie, and then years later the Twin Towers blow up. Like, hold on, we just saw that in a movie a couple years ago, or we just saw that on The Simpsons. That was their way of telling us.
All right, so yeah, you're pretty much in comparison with this film talking about They Live. Let's get it.
See how with the glasses on it say obey,
Obey. Oh dang.
what we see.
Hold on, let me do that again. Glasses on. Obey, black and white. We see. Wowzers. I wouldn't be surprised. But I mean, but in a sense, society is kind of like that, though, right?
Yeah, it is like that.
But I mean, it is called programming, TV programming.
That's exactly what it is.
Change the way we think, the way we view things. Maybe this is a constant reminder to still have our own opinions and just try not allow what you watch warp your brain. Isn't that it?
I need a pair of them glasses though.
Or would you really want those glasses? Is the question.
Yeah, I want them, man. I want to see what.
You know,
I want to see it all, man. Let me see what's going on.
you know, I used to have that mindset till I like saw the movie Constantine with Keanu Reeves.
Oh damn, yeah.
Considering like all right, being able to see like angels and demons and spirits like that, I'm pretty sure they will be able to recognize if I can acknowledge them and see them for like You know what I mean? They could tell what people don't. So to have demons and angels paying attention to me might be something I'll be scared
Yeah, now that's different. Like I ain't trying to have that.
of. Oh, he knows who we are. Oh, we're about to
Yeah,
torment this
they definitely
man.
gonna know. And that's another thing in the movie. Like they started the alien people. They started realizing he was able to see them,
Oh,
and they started chasing him.
man. Let's get back to it. Well, it says no video feed. Maybe something's gonna fix. It's not letting me getting you. Okay. Yo, what up, Joni? He's probably getting everything together right now.
Mm-hmm.
You guys can hear me, right?
I can hear you now. What up, dude?
Oh,
Yeah,
nothing much. How's it going?
All right, we're pretty much going through the Easter eggs with Rockstar Games. They gave us like some subliminal like conspiracy theory stuff regarding the I guess the one of the original artists of the songs that they used in the introduction of like Charles Xavier and Magneto, like it was bouncing around. Matter of fact, well, I'll just run it back.
Oh no, you don't have to run it back. You can keep
Okay.
going.
But yeah, but it's like I guess the guy bought the rights to the song. It all somehow had led to like being in connection with Israel in this time period of how Israel's going to war right now and etc. And we just went on a little bit of a tangent talking about how like it's crazy how these TV shows, cartoons, or anything sometimes they kind of let us know about the future and they have these conspiracies within their TV shows without us knowing about it.
Oh yeah, true.
Simpsons, etc.
Oh yeah, definitely The Simpsons.
All right, let's get it. Oh yeah, what'd you think of episode 10?
Of X-Men, it was pretty good.
Yeah,
This
I
stuff.
like
I
that
definitely
episode.
love the series is pretty good in my opinion. Definitely the part with like Cable and Cyclops and Jean, that was probably the best part of the episode in my opinion.
Yeah, I like that part
Yeah,
too.
yeah, I agree. Let's get it.
1965, the Soviet-backed East German government did very little to repair the damage from World War II, and parts of the country were seeing heavy military presence. I was wondering in Austria because on the wall behind them is a photo of a bodybuilder who could be an 18-year-old.
He's clearly Arnold Schwarzenegger.
When he won the 1965 Junior Mr. Europe. Then again, Arnold also would have been popular in East Germany at the time too. Also, another photo on that wall shows a man with a wide-brimmed hat, which I was wondering might be Charles from Uncanny X-Men 321 when he rocks an Indiana Jones type hat when he's in Israel in the past. And the woman beside him in that photo could be the Israeli Holocaust survivor Gabrielle Haller, mother to David Haller, aka Legion. Charles and Eric talk about the hypothetical of maybe being a mutant, and it's clearly an analogy for being queer, the way the early Fox films use mutant kind as a metaphor for gay rights. I love this scene so much for how
I never got that.
handled the conversation. Like notice how Charles
Yeah.
says,
And if indeed mutants exist,
They don't.
if they exist,
and then Eric quickly cuts him off by saying they don't, right as some clunky metal tanks roll by and the ice shakes in his drink. This guy clearly still triggered from tanks as a kid, targeting him for being different. But Charles takes a bold step of telepathically revealing himself to Magneto, and it definitely plays like two men coming out to each other. A very vulnerable moment. Because notice this specific gesture.
You met others?
The animation direction here is so good because this is like two men who just came out to each other asking if they've ever been with
This is
anyone
getting
else.
weird,
This
dude.
kind of gives it a little like it's these little
Very.
moments that just make X-Men 97 so good. But we learn this is actually a reconstructed memory by Charles to manipulate Magnus's mind. Magnus's hair regrows long, and the outside street turns into a stormy sea with a boat that Charles clearly placed there, later revealed to be holding Magneto's loved ones, just out of reach. Charles threatens to force his way in, and Magneto warns.
Such psychic
Using his
manipulation
dreams and
risks
pictures
getting
to
both
sway
our minds
opinion.
shattered.
So our prediction last week that
And
Onslaught would
emotion.
arrive in this episode does not
That was
seem
a
to
cool
have
little cameo of
materialized.
his children, like
Onslaught's initial
Polaris,
arrival is
Quicksilver,
not
and Scarlet
visible
Witch.
materialization. The fact
Yeah.
that Charles goes through with this suggests that the darkness in both of them.
I'm
could
surprised they
have
didn't put his
broken in a certain
first
way
daughter in there
to
though,
plant that seed for
Magneto's,
season 2. Because notice specifically
and
the way
his
Charles
wife.
unleashes the psionic energy into Magnus's mind. Looks like the exact moment following Magneto pulling out Wolverine's adamantium in the Fatal Attractions run that was later confirmed to be the moment that Onslaught spawned. So
it's a beautiful day to fly.
Oh, it's one of those you can't skip the ad, boys.
Okay,
Yeah,
Come
guys,
probably for
this
like
is
the
on.
first
crazy.
one, and
I've
then the
got to
second
share
one,
with you.
they'll be all
I
like,
was
okay,
paid
you can skip
Charles
now.
uses Magneto to restore Earth's
Mhm.
There it is.
electromagnetism, and it's cameos galore. We start with Silver Samurai in Tokyo as the city lights back up, and then onto the White House where Captain America Steve Rogers and Iron Man Tony Stark stand beside President Robert Kelly. So this particular Iron Man armor is the design from the 1994 Iron Man animated series. This is the
Which
one with
had
the
one of the best
really
theme
unnecessary
songs.
3D portion of the suit-up sequence. And this
Yeah,
is stupid,
especially
but
that
to the right
second
of
one.
President Kelly, the guy's placard just reads Senator. Then in New York, looters are clotheslined by Daredevil, the Devil of Hell's Kitchen. This suit design looks like it's from the 1999 unproduced Daredevil animated series that
Definitely
was
cool.
pitched to Fox Kids by Marvel, but reportedly Marvel halted production
Oh
because they
yeah,
were developing the film
we
at
need to see them
Ritter,
with
Shaw, and
Mm.
Affleck.
Spider-Man,
Then in
the
the
Fantastic
hospital,
Four.
the backup generators kick back on while Doctor Strange uses Eldritch spells to perform open heart surgery. And beforehand, notice he had been using
So, w- him in this situation, does this make anything that we've watched in the MCU kind of a bit candid?
Oh no, because Daredevil he was
Not,
in this universe though. He has some cameos though, or not cameos, but he was in Spider-Man in a two-part episode, and then he
yeah.
was
Well,
in one
I was
episode of the
referring to
Fantastic.
I was referring to Doctor Strange.
Oh, Doctor Strange.
'Cause, I mean,
He wasn't
he's made
Hulk though.
appearances on everybody's show, but I guess I like with him performing the surgery and also still having his cape and etc.
Oh
I
yeah, and
was
he
just
was in
trying to throw in there.
Spider-Man too.
Yeah.
Yeah,
So that's why
true.
I was like,
They were doing
I
that
didn't know if they were
MCU
trying if they're
family.
trying to use yeah, exactly. I was just trying to say like, were they trying to insinuate anything that we have seen in the MCU that we would put
Yeah,
into thought?
yeah, they were doing that though.
using floating candles. Since Doctor Strange began as a surgeon, it's just nice to see that when the blackout began, that's how he decided he could be the most useful. But also notice that he's using magic to maneuver the scalpel, so I wonder if this version never got his hands fixed. And just because there is someone behind him, I wonder if that might be Christine Palmer. So Bastion relishes in Charles reactivating his primes.
A dream as crippled as its dreamer, built to die.
It's worth noting that all living things are, in a way, born with an expiration date. It's really what gives life meaning. But Batman doesn't understand the meaning of that because he is mostly machine. And he says all this while Jean is sinking into that pond, reminding us of her moment with Wolverine in the pond earlier this season by the X-Mansion. And it just aligns with Bastion's inspired description of mutant kind.
So Gene's significantly taller.
Stillborns flapping upstream, draining yourselves dry so that the tide can more easily drown you.
So Bastion is suggesting that these
We wouldn't have got a
mutants
plot
are
like
designed
this
and destined to
back in
drown,
the
but
day. They did
ironically,
not
Jean
talk
is
and have this
using
much
robotic
dialogue
submersion
on the
to
original
reactivate
in the original
Phoenix,
series.
all while Charles is begging Eric to let that tide take him in
Yeah.
and cleanse him with spiritual renewal. Bastion just doesn't get how tides work because, he like talks to pencil sharpeners. When Bastion chokes Storm, I love how
Or
he
it would have been
growls.
more heavily
Get your
censored
filthy
compared to
paws
like
off her.
Definitely giving me
today.
vibes of Charlton Heston in the 1968
Yeah,
Planet
yeah.
of the Apes.
Take your stinking paws off me, you damn dirty ape!
Which I really only bring up because both of these conflicts come down to which sentient race represents the rightful evolutionary order of succession. The Primes crash into the White House as Bastion plans to do what Master Mold began to do in Season 1, Episode 13, The Final Decision, to replace the brains of world leaders with robot brains. We see these things go into Wakanda, smashing in at Black Panther, who's flanked by the Dora Milaje. The Black Panther that we saw in the 90s run in the Sanctuary arc when Asteroid M shuttles depart from Africa was also caped like this. And we see this Black Panther later. It's not T'Challa, but his father, King T'Chaka. Notice how they added some gray hair to his temples. I assume this might be because Marvel Animation was able to get Chadwick Boseman for the animated version of T'Challa in the What If episodes of Season 1, and maybe they didn't want to bring someone else in to voice the role.
And with
Bojo
AI,
did
they could
say
probably
that he
use
would
it still.
speak to the T'Chaka versus T'Challa decision, so I assume this came from Marvel execs. Back in New York, we see Josie's bar, the bar frequented by Matt Murdock and Foggy Nelson. Daredevil gets hit from the side, and notice on the ground are some broken pieces of glass that looks like a dagger. And this precedes precedes the arrival of Cloak and Dagger to help Daredevil. Ty teleports them in with his cloak, and Tandy creates a dagger of light. These two did appear in the 2012 Ultimate Spider-Man, voiced by Phil Lamar and Ashley Eckstein, as well as, of course, their live-action 2018 series on Freeform, starring Aubrey Joseph and Olivia Holt. Meanwhile, the Russian president gets protected by a Russian lineup of superheroes: Omega Red, Crimson Dynamo, and Darkstar. So Darkstar joined Omega Red in the season 2 episode 4 Red Dawn episode. In the MCU, they took elements of Crimson Dynamo and merged them with Whiplash to get Mickey Rourke's take on Ivan Vanko for Iron Man 2. Meanwhile, on Genosha, we see Psylocke, the real Psylocke, not Morph turning into Psylocke, as well as members of the Canadian superhero team Alpha Flight. We see the twins, North Star and Aurora, and remember, we saw Aurora briefly at Remy's funeral, and we still haven't really gotten an explanation of what their history was. And then there's also Puck, as well as Cecilia Reyes. Meanwhile, Bastion asks Cable,
How many times did you fail to stop me?
200. 200 times.
So, last week, Bo Tomato tweeted that we should watch
200.
the Star Trek Next Generation episode Cause and Effect to prepare for this finale. Cause and Effect ends by revealing Captain Morgan Bateson, Kelsey Grammer of the USS Bozeman, had been caught in a temporal anomaly loop for 80 years. And I think that's the idea with Cable here. He's just been in dozens of loops with a certain knowledge that we didn't even realize. Along with Patrick Stewart and Kelsey Grammer obviously joining the X-Men film franchise, there are a few other reasons why Bo Tomato told us to watch this episode. I'll get to those later. But yeah, let's talk about that. 200 loops, Cable. We don't know how far Cable got on each of these loops. Like, imagine
that
we
probably
were
has to
watching,
be
like,
the most
final loop of
nerve-wracking
the Tom Cruise
job
Edge of
or
Tomorrow.
responsibility
Like, some
ever.
loops he made it all the way to London. Some loops he just like died in the first minutes. I presume that most of Cable's loops were just to the night of Genosha, and then he just got temporarily pulled back because it was an absolute point. But knowing that he went through 200 loops suggests that maybe there were loops where he made it further. Like all of his interactions with Cyclops and
I'm
Jean
just
we saw in
surprised
the second
Madeline
half
went
of the
out like
season,
that, though.
He might have already looped through those conversations.
Yeah,
in the
okay.
past. Like that could be why
So,
he always growled at
in the Discord, all the guys said that Madeline like died in one of the explosions that happened on the show.
Yeah.
Yeah, I don't. For some reason, that just kind of like just went past my brain. I like until they said that to me, I seriously was like, "Where the hell is Madeline?" Because the last I remembered her was when she had rode off. But I guess it is what it is.
Yeah, like I guess there was an explosion or something, but I'm just like, I mean, we saw how powerful she was in the first couple of episodes. I was like, I doubt that would have killed her, but I don't know. So I'm just like a little like, yeah, but maybe she probably was since Cable, you know, could confirm it. So I was like, okay.
I mean, I guess from that point, if they were to include her, she does like kind of get on this emotional, sexual tear across the MCU that they're not going to give us any details on and visuals about. So they might, yeah. Who knows? Who knows if anybody really dies? Next Man Odyssey.
Because he's bored with it. He's already had that conversation. So Bastion says this interesting line.
Jean Grey, Madeline Pryor, never Phoenix, just dead.
I'm not sure, but it seems like they might be saying Madeline Pryor was never Phoenix, which would mean that Sinister must have swapped Jean and Madeline sometime after the Phoenix Saga and the Dark Phoenix stuff in Season 3. Either way, I think it happened more recent than we think, because it would be crazy to say that the entire time of the 5 seasons of the 90s run, it was all Madeline that whole time. Thank you to BetterHelp for sponsoring this video. It's spring, and while for a lot of us that means doing a deep...
I do have flashbacks of that Jean, like, mentally. She, like, lost her memory at a certain point, if I'm not mistaken, during those later seasons during that Phoenix saga.
Like I think that was when Wolverine and the X-Men, because she went all like Phoenix in there and lost her memory in that show. I don't know if that was the case.
Got a call. What's up, Bundle? I'm in the stream right now. I can. It just depends. It depends afterwards, like how I feel.
Are you down the stream while gaming?
Right now I have to do the clicking and moving in between everything, so I'll probably be. I'm streaming live right now while we're talking.
You're in the restream?
Yeah, yeah, it's in the Discord. All right. All right.
therapist who they think will help you out the most. The therapist they pick for you will have tons of experience dealing with whatever you're going through. Every single one of their therapists is licensed, has a master's or doctorate degree, and has spent over 3 years and 1,000 hours working with people just like you. You'll be matched to a therapist usually within 48 hours so you can get started.
All right, thanks a lot. I'm about
Brody
to
BetterHelp
get
for a while.
come on,
We've heard
Bucko.
some amazing Scrambler uses it to reverse a nanotech virus for all the primes. During this montage, there's a wondrous choir vocal cover of Ron Wasserman's theme. I love how Gene drains the Sinister of all his mutant DNA they'd used to duct tape himself together and keep himself young over the years. We saw the beginning of this process in the Sinister Origin episode, season 5, episode 9, The Descent, when Nathaniel Essex experimented on mutants who looked odd, who would end up getting freed and were implied to become the Morlocks. And that episode featured Jean's ancestor, Rebecca Gray. So this might just be a history that Jean was able to understand through her own ancestry. And Jean says,
Phoenix burns away the obsolete, the underbrush of our fears and insecurities.
and like an Indiana Jones villain, Sinister.
I'm not gonna lie, I was laughing at this man.
Especially when Morph trolled him. That was hilarious.
This was,
He was like, "This is
immediate
what you look
comedy.
I was like, yeah, Morph and Gene definitely deserved that get back on Sinister.
How ashamed he felt for himself. All his confidence was gone. He just, I don't know, man. He should have been able to just take his L without looking like such an insecure wimp.
Something your old Victorian era man should look like. Whiskers and liver spots on his head. Even the pond water at his ankles is like yuck and ripples away because Sinister is too shook for this water to calmly reflect his appearance. So of course he just runs over to the nearest metamorph and is like, be a mirror for me.
Show me my face.
Oh, Morph, you're so mean. Like Sinister totally deserved this. And then
Welcome.
Please show me my face.
Is this everything?
We are a very old family.
So many documents.
You had him right there.
Upgrade your business tools with American Express Business
The-
Platinum.
the-
with
okay,
over
but
$1,000
the
in
one critique I will say is I mean, there are several other Sinisters that are going to be that do exist, but I wanted a bigger, better battle out of the Sinister. To be quite honest with you, I guess not physically, but I just didn't feel like his presence was that strong. How do y'all feel about that?
Yeah, he might have been like a sub boss or something.
Yeah.
Because yeah, I mean, Bastion was the one that was doing most of the stuff, and like Sinister was kind of just like behind the scenes or whatever.
Yeah, well, he masterminded and
runs
moved
away
some things in
like a
place.
foot. He's
Help
on an
Bastion
island.
get to the
Where's
point
he
he
gonna
wanted
go?
to be.
Is he gonna rent a boat? So
Oh,
Bastion
yeah.
rips off Cable's arm and then smacks him with it, and then
Bitch
squeezes
slaps
it so
him.
hard that it pops open into these gross squid-like tendrils. It's
Bug
such
day,
a-
dude.
You already know.
What's going on, sir?
You already know.
We're going through the episode 10. You got
You're gay.
Hey man, so what are your thoughts on episode 10?
Shit. Now let the episode play before you hear me, because you know me with the gift of gab. I ain't gonna.
Well, I mean, it's been a week. I mean, we can get through it if you want to, and then you can throw it.
Actually, I'm about to switch the joint up because I'm on my laptop. This ain't the camera I'm trying to use at the moment. Cause I wanted to use my iPad. Yeah, see, this ain't the one I want to use right now. But
What up?
I'm sorry, I'm talking on Discord. Some people, my bad, bro. Now he's straight. Yeah, I'm talking to multiple
Is that a
people.
Dragon Ball?
What? You said what?
I was about to say, is that a Dragon Ball behind you?
Oh, that
Or your
is-
wallpaper?
Yeah, that is a Dragon Ball. Yes.
4-star ball.
Gotta keep the 4 stars. But yeah, just give me. All right, bro. This dude's like, can you mute yourself? But no, I'm about to switch it on this shit so I can get a better view of some stuff though. So just give me 1 second.
All right.
Un segundo, por favor. This thing works. What the fuck? There we go. arms of her bandit. I still don't know what I'm gonna do with that Deadpool book, man. I still don't know where I'm gonna put it with all the Deadpool in here. Oh, I need to access this to here first.
Looks like you're gonna have to get a shelf, my boy.
Oh yeah, I'm taking that down. And I'm changing that. Well, you can't see that, and I'm changing all this too.
Yeah,
All the good stuff is back.
But your collection is getting extensive.
Yeah, all the good stuff is back here. Yeah, I can't see that.
You gotta get you a real wall shelf.
Bro.
A man shelf.
You telling?
Man shelf.
Well, how come? Okay, I'm trying to find you through here. Boom. Okay, so whatever my phone does, my iPad does. 1 second. There it goes.
So you about to join again?
Oh yeah. So I'm gonna close it down from here. I'll join in here just 1 second.
All right. Is my shit inside out? Does it not? Yes. Let's see here. It is inside out.
So, did you guys have any favorite characters for the season of X-Men '97?
Magneto. Magneto.
Yeah, I'm gonna agree with you.
Definitely had
Like
the best art.
He's never been my favorite guy up until I watched this.
Yeah, Magneto was pretty much the GOAT for this show.
Yeah, I'm like, this man is a straight up villain, but I'm like, nah, but here I actually really felt like, yeah, he really did try to be a hero, and I really do appreciate that.
He did try.
But I mean, that's how it should.
Magneto. He had the best one-liners, just everything, just the voice acting, everything. I fucked with Magneto. I just loved Magneto.
Oh yeah, the best outfit too. I was like, okay, I like that outfit.
It's fed all that.
When he came in the scene, he was real confident. Was at the dinner table, trying to spit some game to the ladies.
Just the enough and all that. Just the whole when he's like, I'm really trying to see Charles' vision. When he had the whole like secretary or whatever in the air, and he was just like, please do not make me let you down. As he was hovering in the air with them and shit like that, I was like, hey, yeah, that was cold. That was cold. It was cold. But nah, Magneto, he stole the show up. But hold on 1 second, put this hoodie on.
I kind of wish he would have stayed the leader though. More good stuff versus good. But if I gotta say, my favorite was probably Nightcrawler because I mean, he may not have been in every single episode, but still, it was nice seeing him.
That fight scene was so badass. Let's just be honest.
Oh, and the Wolverine.
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
I didn't see that fan film of Wolverine. I did check. Well, that's another time.
I haven't sat down and watched it yet. I'll probably watch it tonight.
You watch it after this.
Okay, we can. I mean, but okay. Yeah, I mean, after I'm done with this, I'll watch it, but I'm not gonna put all of it on here because, like, I have to be careful with the copyright claims. I would have to pause it a whole bunch. You know what I mean? But
I mean, as long as our faces is there on it. I mean, I feel you, but
I've been doing a lot of editing lately. But one thing that really stuck out to me the most that it may have went by very fast for people for watching it, but considering I'm talking to you guys in this panel, the fight choreography that's like going on in pretty much each episode was badass as hell. Watching more transform into different characters and utilizing their size and abilities. I thought it was perfect.
Yeah, I really did like that. I was like, when I first saw Morph was going to be on here, I was like, well, what is he going to do? I mean, he's just a shapeshifter, and then he was doing all that. I was like, okay, it's a lot better than I thought. He turned into Juggernaut and the Hulk. I'm like, all right, okay.
If you think about it, the X-Men probably have the best teamwork out of all Marvel teams, with the exception of Fantastic Four. I mean, even the Guardians, Avengers, Thunderbolts, Dark Avengers, regular Avengers, because they spend countless hours within the danger room, simulating whatever dangers they need, learning how their powers work simultaneously with each other. That's why you had scenes where Gambit can hop on the back of Wolverine while running, and charge Wolverine's claws with kinetic energy and shit like that. You can have the Wolverine and Nightcrawler, dynamic and shit like that. The shit with Storm and everybody else. They spend that time. So even outside of just looking at this show, I've always thought, as far as comic book teamworks in Marvel, I thought the X-Men work the best together. Avengers is just
That
a
is
whole
true.
bunch of powerful motherfuckers just put together. X-Men is like, okay, you're a mutant, you're a mutant, you're a mutant. How do we work this together?
Yeah.
And that's how they do it.
it's
So
like
I always felt that they were a better team. Excuse me.
makes sense.
Which
Not to mention they're a lot more interesting too.
Oh yeah. Personality wise,
Look what Kitty Pryde can do, just make people go through walls and stuff and all that shit like that. I mean, I don't even think there's a better show of teamwork in comics if you actually really, really think about it. If you really, really think about it, they work in tandem. I mean, Avengers have some good ones, but Avengers turn on each other.
Yeah, they definitely do.
They turn on each other.
I mean, to keep it a buck, with all these powers and abilities and being introduced to all these characters and these time frames, if they were to throw in Avengers versus X-Men, I'm personally I'm siding with the X-Men in this.
When the situation brought, excuse me, I may cut
When
anybody
it does
off.
go down.
If it's the progression of what we have in X-Men 97 right now, I would absolutely be on the mutants and X-Men side. I even, to some degree, even see that the Avengers would be on the side because, obviously it sets up Avengers versus X-Men, but there is even a scene after the Prime Sentinels have been shut down, President Kelly is okay, and that they go through with the Magneto protocols, to shoot the nuclear missiles at Asteroid M, and you see they show and even do a close-up of Steve Rogers, and his mask is off, and he kind of looks back and puts his head down, like he knows, like, nah, this ain't it. This ain't the way to go. So it's like, yes, X-Men versus Avengers is being foreshadowed, but they did give you that. At least that, I don't know if you recognize or paid attention to that. Screen Crush, highlighted that in their breakdown of it with Ryan Airy. But yeah, there was actually a scene that once the powers that be convinced President Kelly to go ahead and go through with the Magneto protocols to send the nuclear missiles up to Asteroid M, Steve Rogers was not with that bullshit. So if you watch that again, you'll pay attention to that. So we'll see how that works.
Okay. Let's get to it.
Visual, reminding us that part of Cable's very anatomy came from that original techno-organic virus. He forms this new armored appearance with wings that actually comes from the Second Coming story arc, where he's actually infected with a techno-organic virus. These tech wings actually were inspired by Archangel in the comics. Bastion's plan now is to hurl Asteroid M back down to Earth and grant the planet a quick extinction, which is essentially what Ultron planned to do with Sokovia in Avengers Age of Ultron. Cyclops tells a recovering Wolverine, "Don't you dare break her heart."
Simp shit.
I love that Scott acknowledged.
I'd be damned if I go ahead and admit that to another nigga about my bitch on his deathbed. You got me fucked up. But we understand.
We do know Scott likes to move around.
Link to explain that he must restore Magneto's shattered psyche, even if that means risking losing himself in that subconscious. Yeah, I definitely feel like we're gonna circle back on this moment whenever Onslaught arrives. And if you listen closely to the music in this scene, the Newton brothers mixed in the classic X-Men music for the 90s run for this kind of scene.
Yeah,
so Jean links with everyone on Asteroid M to warn them.
He's more than flesh or metal. Bastion is the future incarnate.
So, thematically, by facing Bastion, the X-Men are fighting an entire representation of their future and how humanity is destined.
And they gave everybody that rogue butt shot. Everyone missed out in this episode.
Which we needed.
Meanwhile, Rogue tells Roberto,
"Odds may be bad, but the cards are always in the X-Men's favor."
Yes, reminding us of Gambit, whose Queen of Hearts returns in the post-credit scene. So the first one to confront Bastion when he reaches the core is Rogue, and she gives him the business.
His name was
Bitch.
Remember it.
Gave him that left
Animation
hook.
on the business end of Rogue is a freaking feast. Her fist smushes Bastion's cybernetic cheek. Rogue does the Man of Steel Kala versus Zod speed punching, ramming him through the debris.
As
Her
she
eyes
should.
emit some teardrops, but she turns away from them, which is another visual example of mutants in the tidal waters. But this mutant is turning the tide. Rogue throws Bastion, and she shifts her weight from one side
Them
to the other
cheeks!
and leaps up after him.
Boom.
And yeah, animators, we see what you did there. Rogue throws Bastion into the blue area of the moon. Again, seen in
Where they
season
can
3
breathe.
Phoenix Saga. It does have breathable air and has been home to Uatu the Watcher, so that's why
Thanks
Sunspot
to
and
the
Rogue are able to
scrolls.
breathe in this section. And I love how Rogue raises Bastion's head.
Rogue's
just
80s
enough to
costume
put him in
definitely
place
looked a
so that
lot
she can
better
wallop him in
here
the face
than
with
it does in the
thunder.
comics.
Dislodges his jaw.
Oh,
Bastion
yeah.
flies her up out of the blue area's breathable atmosphere, but Sunspot comes in to help, and I just love the shot where he's framed in his fiery glow as the sun's light appears from behind the earth. Meanwhile, President Kelly talks with the other world leaders, including T'Chaka of Wakanda, and it looks like on the upper right,
Nelson
that might be
Mandela.
Nelson Mandela. Because this is 1997, and Nelson Mandela served as president of South Africa from 1994 to 1999. However, the Russian
I
president
noticed
is not
that
Boris
too.
Yeltsin, so they're just kind of picking and choosing, but that's okay. President Kelly reads Magneto's dossier in the Magneto Protocol folder, which lists his real name as Magnus, aka Eric Lencher, aka David Hemblin, the late actor who voiced him in the original 90s animated series.
With a Planet
Also
Fitness
paying
Black Card, you
homage
get a great workout.
to the
You get a great perk
That's
out.
pretty
from the
Because your
one
membership is
class.
packed with perks. Join for just $1.
Well as Ian redacted and Michael redacted. Of course, nods to Ian McKellen and Michael Fassbender. It also lists his affiliations
Nice
as
little
Brotherhood of
touch.
Mutants, Acolytes, and X-Men, and marital status as widowed, and his children, Quicksilver, son, Scarlet Witch, daughter, and P something redacted,
Polaris.
referring to Polaris, aka Lorna
Oh,
Jane,
yeah.
who also shows up on the boat with these two a little bit later. The deceased wife, I think, might be Magda Eisenhart, who would be Wanda and Pietro's mother at this point before retcons ended up changing all of that. And while his height, 6'2", and weight, 190 pounds, match what is on Magneto's various trading cards, the power ratings of strength, intelligence, speed, fight, stamina, and agility do not match at all. But I love that they added energy level and global danger, and global danger is off the charts. And when Kelly flips the page, there is a yellow sticky note with the word codes taped over what looks like a nuclear missile. So are those the nuclear launch codes just casually written on a
Just
sticky note?
sitting on the top of the
So
folder.
Charles tells Magneto,
On a sticky note.
Drag us under. It also carries us to others who are fighting their own current.
I love this idea. This whole concept of all of us linked on a shared current, those waters that carry us, is spiritually significant to stories like Black Panther. Remember the idea of Killmonger wanting to be buried in the ocean with his ancestors who knew that death was better than bondage, which I maintain is like the best line to date in the MCU. But we learn in Black Panther Wakanda Forever that water can also
Just letting
be
you know,
a
I'm still
healing
here,
force,
bro.
as it was
So
for
whenever you get a
Shuri.
team
And for what it's
together.
worth, DeMeo did confirm this connection. So out on the boat that Charles placed there, we see
I feel you, bro.
Rogue, as
No
well as
problem. I've
Polaris,
actually invited a few
Quicksilver,
people
and
myself, but
our
I'm just letting you know I didn't bail
Wanda
on you.
Maximoff, the Scarlet Witch. Notice how
Wanda.
Magneto's children's faces are in shadow, which aligns
All right,
with his
I'll send
inability
another
to
invite.
see his parents' faces.
My family. My parents. I can't see them. Where are their faces?
Remember, when Magneto flashed back to his origin in the Holocaust in the Remember It episode, we
Do
did
it.
not see
That's
the
easy.
faces of his parents beside him. We are also reminded of Jean's inability to see
Yeah,
the faces.
yeah. I
when
don't know if
memory
I was clear
scanned
on
back
that.
in the
My
Iron
voice
Maiden
kind of
Flesh
cracked.
episode. It's just a tragic thing that happens as we grow older and we start to lose people
I
in our
meant to say,
lives.
hell
and our
yeah, let's
faces
do my
begin to
voice
fade
there.
from our minds. Specifically
But
for
yeah,
Magneto, it's
yeah.
really because as a kid, he was not looking upward at his parents in that moment. He could not
Sorry,
help but
guys.
look downward at the boots of the soldiers that took them.
Father. Those men. The boots. They took them.
Yes, Magneto says the German words for mother and father, but transitions into English when he gets angrier. Meanwhile, back on Asteroid M, Nightcrawler bamps Bastion into the main hall, but for a moment we were very worried that Nightcrawler might accidentally bamf with Bastion's arm through his chest. But Cyclops hits Bastion with a full optic blast. It's so satisfying.
He
to
says
see
that
a
because that's
true
how
Cyclops
Nightcrawler died.
battle here.
And then-
Jubilee hits Bastion with some plasmoids and crashes the
Bruh.
Sentinel head on him.
Homie
Now
face
Bastion
looks
sits up.
so
His wrecked face
warped.
looks
Bro,
so
that's
gnarly.
cruel.
You
Pause
finally see
that.
the
Dude.
Yeah, hold
eyes.
on. No. We gotta go back just a tad.
Dude, you know, like, cause I always
Oh, zombie.
didn't respect Jubilee because it was like, this bitch
Here,
throwing
Jubilee
firecrackers.
hits
You know what I'm
Bastion with
saying?
some plasmoids
But that's just
and
because
crushes
that's the way the
Sentinel head on
animators
him.
and the
Now
comic
Bastion
writers
sits up.
made it look. But
His
actually,
wrecked
Jubilee's power is that she's igniting molecules on the subatomic level and giving them ignition, and that's just the color that's happening to it. So she actually, like how she showed herself in that one episode in the arcade, how she can use them to spin, make this to slice through atoms and all that shit like that. If she can harness it, she's almost on some Gambit type stuff, because Gambit can charge whatever he physically touches, with his kinetic energy. She just charges subatomic particles on a molecular level. So whatever is in the air, she can charge and explode. It just looks like firecrackers. But the moment she hones it, because there are a few comic books that explain her powers a little bit better, that make her never Omega, but top flight Alpha. Jubilee is a problem with them joints. I'm gonna let you know she is.
Yeah,
Duly noted
or
to it. I'm a bit of a casual.
She's a problem. I forget the. I think it's a more of a what if one off. I don't think it's a what if title, but it was more of something like that when Jubilee just wasn't effing with the X-Men and she was against it, and she was just like, "Hey, I'm gonna let these pyrotechnics hang," and it's just like, yeah, it explained how she does her power. And it's like, no, I'm not throwing firecrackers. Like she was always just shown to do that in her teenage, stay through X-Men 92 to 97. But if you break down what she actually can do, if you look at what she can do, yeah.
I have heard that. Yeah, Jubilee
Subatomic.
can definitely be a problem.
She can
But
be a
I've been hearing
problem.
that
She
they
can
done some
detonate.
weird story decisions with her though
Yeah, they have.
throughout the years.
Yeah, they have. Yeah,
But yeah, I
the
always found
same
her
thing
powers to
with
be
Gambit.
creative though.
Yeah, same thing with
Yeah.
Gambit. We discussed Gambit on the stream before. Jeff, me and you talked about it before. They had a whole one-off where Sinister wasn't such a dick that he was, and he helped Beast help Gambit control his powers, because Gambit was out of control with it, and he was actually becoming an extremely dangerous Omega level mutant, and they actually gave him a lobotomy within the comic book just to keep him at alpha status, because he was starting to be able to charge everything with kinetic energy that he touched, which was like an unrelenting, unstopping chain reaction. Even if he touched the concrete, it just kept going,
At
kept going,
that
kept
point,
going, kept
he
going,
was a
kept going. It
danger
would
to
just,
himself
yeah,
and
it just
also people around
kept
him.
going.
So,
Yeah, it didn't matter if it was organic matter, it didn't matter if it was metal, it would matter if it was wood. I forget the comic, but it just whatever he couldn't control it. If he sneezed, if he farted or whatever like that, it would just charge the area that it would, and it wouldn't stop. It was a tsunami of his power, and it wouldn't stop until met like a body of water. And so they actually gave him it was Mr. Sinister and Beast. They gave him a lobotomy in the comic book so he wouldn't achieve Omega level. So he just stayed as the top alpha mutant within Xavier's school. I forget the comic again. I always forget the titles, but I always remember the stories.
well, I mean, hopefully we'll kind of get a more progression out of some of these characters that we didn't get in the past.
I hope so. But
I
this
mean,
show is doing it though.
Yeah, I was about to say, look, comic book adaptation. It may not fit it to its T, but this is probably the closest I've seen so far. Because I've spent some time for some of the things I've been confused with, and did a little bit of research. And I mean, this is kind of what we all been This is the closest that we've been asking for from Marvel, if I'm not mistaken, guys.
Man,
Unless y'all feel any different.
Yeah, this does
really
definitely feel like something
This
that
shit is it.
was taken from the comics.
Well,
they did take a lot of the stuff from the comics, but changed it up a little.
It's ripped almost exactly from the source material, which is what true fans can understand and get behind and relate to and love. And when it comes down to it, the true fans are the only reason this is any popularity now. I mean, so it scratched the itch that we've been looking for since Phase 4 and the beginning of Phase 5 after Endgame. This is doing it.
Yeah.
This is doing it. And
it's
appeasing
not
to those who are in their upper
anything
20s, mid 30s, and shit like that. Yeah. It's appeasing to that childhood. And it literally feels like 1997 to like it was 1998. They picked the ball up and kept running. I don't know why Paul don't like this motherfucker. I don't know what's wrong with it. But yeah,
that's what Paul does. That's what he has to look for.
I know that's his YouTube personality, but whatever. I mean, even when I was debating him with him, when he was talking about he thought it was a feminist agenda to have Rogue throw Captain America's ship, shield, and I'm like, okay, all right, man.
It's better than what she really could do to him, though.
I was like, all right, dude. I was just like, I had so many conflicting ideas with that, and it's just like, but I took the high road. I was like, I'm gonna understand you because I've seen Marvels and She-Hulk, blah blah, where that type of mindset and direction was gone. But I was like, that situation was not it, bro. So it didn't
Yeah, that
matter
was
who
kind of
was
a
writing
reach.
it. It
It
didn't
was a
matter
reach.
who
It was
was
a reach,
writing
just
it.
like you said, Johnny.
Rogue wins
Like,
that
have you
fight
guys seen
15
his community
times out
tab?
of 10, bro. Like that's
You
ridiculous.
said his
Rogue
what?
always wins that.
Seen his what, Johnny?
I was gonna say, have you guys seen his community tab where he tried to like say that, oh my god, Beast is looking at Forge's dick or whatever? I'm like, they're talking about Forge's leg, and I'm like, they both got girlfriends. What are you talking about? He's like,
He's
I
a
knew it.
turd burglar.
He
I
I made that
inferred
joke
and
in
he
the
was
last
all like,
he
I knew a dude
we
that
inferred
had.
has 6
dick
kids and is
bulge
gay. I'm like,
looking in
bro,
the
stop.
he inferred that in the comic and cartoon. Really, that was a point that he
Yeah,
made.
like there was a screenshot he tried to take out of context, and I'm like, they're talking about Forge's bionic legs since they're both scientists or whatever. But I'm like, but
And
Beast
then
got a
when he looked
girlfriend
at
and
his
4
leg, when he realized that the electromagnetic shit blocked from Magneto, he thought that was a dick look.
Now he's basically
Yeah,
saying that Beast was cock gazing.
yeah,
I
yeah.
cracked
He
the
said
joke
that.
in the stream, but I didn't take that serious enough for him to do it. But I guess it was a stretch for him to try and get some clicks.
Yeah,
But I get accused of being a clickbait YouTuber. in his own words, the irony is real. I regress.
Face looks so gnarly for a few frames, like the eye is hanging out, and then we just see the machinery in a few frames jigsawing some crude version of it back.
now
into
would the
place. It's
'90s
like
be able
the
to get away with this
T-800
though?
refusing to die,
Oh, not at
including
all.
when a Sentinel stomps on him. This is the one that
I mean, we got
Beast
blood.
and Hawkeye
Again, we got
both
blood and all
used.
this stuff. This is clearly an adult for us.
Yes,
Oh yeah,
obvious nod by Beast.
yeah. Some
to
cursing and
Odysseus
stuff in
and
it too.
Trojan
Yeah.
horse. Jean, Storm, and Morph fly down, and notice how Morph morphs into Sauron, Dr. Carl Lycos from the Savage Land, really just to make this 2-second flight across the room. Like, they could have picked anyone who could fly or land softly, and Morph is like, I haven't done Sauron yet, so why not? Bastion raises the Sentinel foot, and Cyclops recognizes that it's time to stop fighting the future.
Your mother lied. The professor came to you, Bastion.
If she did, it was to protect me!
Parents are human too. They mess up.
Cyclops says he knows how it feels to have the
Yo,
things he trusted, the future.
I got one for y'all. I need this honest opinion from this panel, you guys. I'm not going to refer to just abilities, but as far as being the decision maker and making quick decisions, where does Cyclops rank to you guys in leaders in Marvel?
Well, based off what I
Hold
hear,
on,
no,
hold on,
Cyclops.
Bundle. You don't have any sound.
Where does
Oh,
Cyclops rank in leaders?
Yeah, mentality. Where do you guys? You know what I mean? Like you got some honorable mentions for
Okay,
us.
well let me ask you this in Marvel right now. I'm gonna give you a 4-way go right now. Between Icarus, Star-Lord, Captain America, and your boy right there, and Cyclops, who would you rather be your leader? Between them 4. Icarus, Star-Lord, Cyclops.
Okay,
Captain.
is it Icarus was in the Eternals, if I'm not mistaken?
Icarus is an Eternal. Even though Zuras is the strongest Earth-based Eternal, Icarus is known to be the leader. He's the one that is the field captain. You know what I'm saying?
I mean,
Basically,
if I were
Zuras is
somebody
like Nick
leading me, I'll
Fury.
probably choose like
Icarus is Cap.
I'll,
So you got
I'll
Cap.
probably choose like Captain America or
Because I'm
something.
not gonna do Robert Downey Jr. Because Robert Downey Jr. is everybody's best friend. He's not their leader.
Or Iron
So
Man.
not Robert Downey Jr. but Tony Stark. Excuse me. But you got your Steve Rogers, Star-Lord, your Icarus, Cyclops.
If I'm going to go first, I'm going to go with Cyclops. And I was simply the reason why this is just only personal to me, because Cyclops generally picks the higher road, but there are glimpses and moments where he will sacrifice and he weighs in. He will kill somebody. He will do a little bit of dirt to do the right thing. So I go with Cyclops. And that's kind of my personality. I don't like getting my hands dirty, but I will if it leads to something great.
Cyclops is far more corrupted and has a more blemished accolade for his leadership than Captain America. Even though Captain America does have that one Hell Hydra moment, that was because he was brainwashed. That was never of his own fruition. Cyclops
Yeah.
actually, after enough of Professor X's failed tutelage and failed events have happened, he created a bitter resentment towards him and actually led the X-Men in certain futures on a type of a dictator type shit type, or not as over the top as a Homelander type deal, but basically get down or lay
But
down
when he
type
was
shit.
going in
And he
X-Men
got
versus
to that
Avengers.
point, and then he also had the Phoenix Force and killed Professor X.
Oh yeah, Professor X.
See,
Yeah, from the
see,
Avengers.
you know what I mean? Cap ain't never done that like that. The worst thing Cap ever did was said Hell Hydra, and that wasn't even his fault.
I mean, it was.
I mean, honestly, if I had to choose a leader, I would definitely go with Captain America. Like mainly because you saw how he was during Civil War. Like he was definitely ride or die for all the heroes and their secret identities and stuff. But
because
I think Cyclops is definitely up there, though, in my opinion, with Captain America. I just feel like later writing, in my opinion, kind of ruined Cyclops' character a little bit. But other than that, I mean, Cyclops is sometimes off his game if he's like depressed or something, or Jean's dead or whatever. You know what I mean?
He got a lot more issues to worry about. See, Cap don't have the emotional content and problems that Cyclops got to deal with. He got baby mama issue. He's admitting his baby mama and wife's love to another man on another man's deathbed. You know what I mean? Like that's crazy.
But don't get me wrong. Don't get me wrong. I mean, Cyclops is a good leader and he will get stuff done. It's just that like you might have somebody like Wolverine who will try to be all
let me kind of explain myself too, though, gentlemen. Like for what you explained, I didn't have too much knowledge of in the first place. And the reason why I kind of go, my opinion, the reason why I didn't pick Cap first is sometimes Cap is more of a soldier more, and in some kind of situations it might require some attachment to make a decision. Like mentally, like soldier robotic. Like there's moments where like I don't always agree with Cap. That's the reason why I didn't have him. But
yeah, but I mean, like Captain America, you know, like he's a huge influence and he's a living legend. A lot of people look up to him and all that. Like even Punisher looks up to like Captain America and all that stuff and wouldn't even fight him because he just, you know, out of respect. So I definitely would say Captain America, but that's not to say that like Cyclops, like, oh, it's like one side or anything. No, I think Cyclops is up there with Captain America leadership. But if I had to choose, definitely Captain America.
Okay. I think he muted himself. Drew, are you still awake?
Yeah, I'm still up.
What you got? Who you got for your Marvel leader?
I'm gonna say Cyclops just off the strength that I'm not a Captain America fan and I don't really like him. So
I mean, hey, look, bro. I'm not a Superman fan. A lot of people like Superman. So hey, you can have your. I feel if you got that's your opinion. That's your opinion.
Yeah.
You know what? If I had my opinion, the only leaders that I'm following is if I'm down bad enough, Dr. Doom, T'Challa, and Magneto. Because Magneto was right. That's it. I'm always with the Bombay. You know what I mean? Rest in peace. Chadwick Boseman. Magneto.
I could definitely be down with T'Challa, though, definitely.
I would definitely be on Magneto's side if I was a mutant in that world. Absolutely. So I'm under him. And Dr. Doom's just Dr. Doom, bro. Like, get down or lay down. Like, you ain't got an option.
I mean, Dr. Doom
everywhere at once.
Dr. Doom get down and lay down. So, shit.
Nice. Let's get it going.
He was building crashed down on him, and to refuse to let go, even as you're buried by what should have been. And during this, we get this great shot of Bastion's eyeball reflected in Scott's eyepiece. But notice how it doesn't last, because humanity proved Scott's hope wrong. The Magneto Protocol has arrived. Bastion said that humans would rather die than have babies like them, and Bastion would rather die than live in a world
T-1000 boy.
Asteroid M blows up and begins
Bro, he went to an antimatter reactor, though, so I don't think Bastion died. That's what happened with Kane.
Yeah,
he died.
I think Bastion could survive.
That's what
Because he just let himself
Is it-
like run into that explosion. I'm like, he could probably survive that though.
Said that they're in the
Mhm.
upper atmosphere, so there's like some air, and even though
Any
it's
man
cold, sunspots,
reaction
warmth,
just teleports you. It
warmth,
doesn't kill you.
whatever. It's a cartoon. We gotta let it go. Scott prepares to stay
Blue
behind
marble.
and blast apart this asteroid, but not wanting to make the mistake that
Corsair.
Corsair made and not say goodbye to his son. Scott has Jean project both of them into Cable, who recovers in the diner. I love the scene.
Okay.
So
Finally,
much.
Sunspot
Start playing
doing
this
something.
raid, so I gotta start
Yeah.
talking to them. But I'm here
Inside
though.
the diner window, even though he is an astral projection, he might just be in Cable's mind, but no, they want him physically in that booth. And I love the visual motif of this episode, where true mutant heroes have reflections, whereas the vampiric opportunists like Sinister or Bastion, whenever they're starting to be reflected, their reflections are short-lived and vanish. It's because they don't have souls. Characters with souls have reflections. Cyclops says that Madeline told him that baby Nathan had his eyes, and Jean warps his irises so that Nathan can see his father's eyes as they are, his own eyes reflected back to him. Jean does know what Scott's eyes look like from the season 1 episode 5 Captive Hearts, where he was able to do this because they were in the vicinity of Leech. Scott says that his eyes belong to Cable now. It's just so sweet that this entire conversation is rendered in this blue glow, because that would be the truest form of familial love that Cable would have ever felt, because it is the color of the memory that Madeline left in Nathan's mind when he was a baby. And as Scott tells Jean that it's time to go, they turn back to Cable and they fade away. But the last part of Cyclops that fades away are the tears welling up in his eyes. Those are the tears that are still
Good
inside
animation
eyes.
detail right
He
there.
rips off his eyepiece and just
And it
lets
happens
his
so
optic
fast you
blast
would never even catch it unless you
Meanwhile, a
cared
couple of
enough.
guys on Earth listen to this bad news on their car radio, station number 1996, 06,
Onslaught.
which might be for June in 1996, which is when the character of Onslaught
That can also be a
was
thing
introduced.
coming up too.
But then the craziest
Oh,
shot of this
it's
episode
definitely
Yeah,
being
so-
set
through
up.
this broken storefront of Crazy Eddie's
I
is
did
Peter
catch this
Parker
too.
and
MJ and
It's a
Spider-Man.
huge
Yep.
deal
Mhm.
that Peter found
Even the
MJ.
even the cracks in the glass
Yeah,
look
I
like
missed that
Spider-Man.
one.
I remember that
watching
for that
that.
too.
He had been with a clone of MJ.
And he definitely confirmed that that is going to be canon with the Spider-Man 98 series that they're working out.
So satisfying to see it
On
resolved
next.
here. It kind of gave
Flash
her
Gordon's
a bit of
behind him.
redemption after she's had a rough 2024. Also passing Peter's left shoulder could be Felicia Hardy, Black Cat, but entering
Oh, I missed that.
It's funny that
The Empire State.
Wait, what?
jacket, which would be for Empire State University.
Yep, I
Also,
saw
Funny
that too.
because Spider-Man and Cyclops got the same thing going on.
So more
All right,
into
Eric
Jean.
Voss, you see everything.
She can't say it, but I can.
I love you, Logan.
Everyone knows Morph
yeah,
loves
Deborah.
Wolverine.
Beautiful, because
Yeah.
remember, back in episode 1, Morph haunted Logan by turning into a
Unfortunately.
Madeline. Morph has always had feelings for Logan. We've seen
All the way
indications
till
of
he,
that throughout the
he,
season.
they, whatever
In this
dies.
way, Morph is
There's
able to
one for
express
you, Morph.
themselves truly to Logan. And as Nightcrawler prays over them, Charles and Magnus have this moment inside of their minds.
There's a power in seeing yourself in another.
By forcing Magnus to look him in the eyes, Charles helps Magnus realize the power of found family and restores his psyche through their shared dream.
Your name is Professor Charles Xavier.
Xavier.
And you are
Eric Magnus Lynch.
I love how on
Used to be
each
Magnus
of these named
Eisenhard,
Eric,
and they got rid of
Magnus,
that.
Magnus's eyes grow wider. But was this just
Yeah,
an
that's his real
accident?
name, or
Did
his full
Charles
name,
even really
Magnus
think that
Eisenschardt.
changed everything? Or was there something
Yeah,
else that went
Eisenschardt,
on?
Eisenhower, yeah.
But Magneto
However
finally
the
awakens.
Germans pronounce it. Yeah, I got hype on that. Let's go!
Back toward the moon, but then whoa, zap! It vanishes.
apocalypse
The whole thing is
there.
gone in a blip. The island of Lost in the season 4
Take it
finale
down,
when it
he's out
becomes
of here.
unstuck in time, because that is what happened to this asteroid. We jump 6 months later, where the news broadcasts refer to this event as E-Day. So I assume E is for extinction.
Especially if they got the Avengers going to show up, they're definitely going to use Onslaught.
The fact that human society remembers it as a near extinction event tells us what society thinks about mutants this moment. The X-Mansion gates are covered in tributes to the absent X-Men with a large chain X padlocked over the bars. We also learn that Graydon Creed has edged ahead in the presidential race polls. Graydon Creed is a presidential candidate from the Operation Zero Tolerance storyline in the comics, who ties into Bastion's political conspiracy plot to turn society against mutants.
Might even see Mystique in here.
The radio
Paper shredder. That sucks. Fleas and ticks
It
suck.
gets interesting.
This one color provides the longest lasting protection for 8
I'm glad they went a full 10 episodes instead of breaking this up into part 1, part 2
Recordings
of the
just
season.
got better.
Yeah. I mean, I would have preferred that they did, but still, I mean, we definitely got a lot out of it, though. So that's my takeaway from it.
Marco is a fictional South American republic introduced in X-Men number 4, 1964, which at various points was taken over by Magneto's Brotherhood of Evil Mutants. So we see Forge assembling this board of the missing mutants. The top row has Cyclops, missing presumed dead, Jean, missing presumed dead, Storm, missing presumed dead,
I'm sorry
Beast,
about that,
missing
guys. My
presumed dead,
bad. I'm
Magneto,
sorry.
missing presumed dead, Nightcrawler, missing presumed dead, Jubilee, AWOL, which is interesting, and Sunspot, AWOL, interesting. Then the
Yeah,
middle
so
row,
many people
Charles,
pivotal.
missing presumed dead, Scarlet Witch,
Oh, I got a question for you guys. I mean, I do know, like in the comic books, Spider-Man is classified as a mutant. But do you think it's going to be Spider-Man to be classified as a mutant on this TV show?
No.
Probably. Well,
No.
maybe.
No.
But
Because this they've already said that the old Spider-Man TV show. Because remember, what Marvel
Neo
basically
Jay
kind of had
Nightmares.
their own little mini multiverse already happened. The Fantastic Four, the X-Men, it's like Iron Man TV show. I am Iron Man and Spider-Man. They kind of all, participated and existed in the same universe with mad cameos, with Ghost Rider and all that shit like that. And Bodemayo even explained this. It's like all of these shows happened within the same type of universe. That's why we get all these cameos. That's why we got the Spider-Man and Mary Jane that and that's and they even explained that because at the very end of the Spider-Man universe, he found out that he was with a clone and went with Cassandra Cain to find the real Mary Jane within a certain timeline. And we basically just got the realization of what happened at the end of that show. He found the real Mary Jane and stayed with her in that timeline. So all of these shows take place within the same cartoon-wise between that 1992 to 1997, 98, 99 time period. They've already kind of explained that they all mix together. And
Well,
so, yeah.
okay. When I said that with Spider-Man in the comic books recently, I don't believe in the past they ever did, but the comic books recently, and it might be in the Uncanny Spider-Man series. I thought that's the first time they ever declared Spider-Man as an actual mutant.
Oh, I'm sorry. Are you speaking on the comics? I'm sorry. I thought you were speaking on the
Yeah,
TV show.
considering
I
that,
apologize. Excuse me.
yeah. That's why I asked. Do you think that would run canon on this TV show, or
I'll
if it
be
could be a
honest with
possibility?
you. I haven't heard that, so I would be ignorant. So I can't speak on that. I haven't known of a comic to speak on Spider-Man to be a mutant. Not saying it hasn't happened. Everything can happen in comics, but I haven't heard that.
They probably might mistake him as a mutant because they've done that before in the Ultimate Comics, where let's say one time when Peter was fighting Venom, he wasn't wearing his costume and stuff. He was wearing like some raggedy clothes or whatever that he picked up, and some people were like, "Is he a mutant or something?" Because he was doing superhuman things. So it could be like a honest mistake or whatever. But
everyone thought Juggernaut was a mutant for a long time until the writers had to say, "No, he's not." Consider
Oh yeah. Well, if you don't like read comics and stuff, because he got his powers from magic and all that.
Yeah.
But or in the movies they try to simplify it by just saying he's a mutant or whatever.
Yeah.
Because I mean, if it wasn't what a lot of people are confused about, like basically a lot of mutants and superheroes had to register themselves to the government, included, and
the Sokovia Accords.
And with that being said, there's only a few mutants that never registered. That's why the Uncanny Spider-Man series, Nightcrawler has a huge pivotal role because the Sentinels are trying to take down and get rid of mutants, their existence period. But Nightcrawler's never registered, and that's why, like, basically the Sentinels are scanning the city of New York. And Spider-Man came up as one as well. Came up as a mutant there. So I didn't know if that possibly could lead into any direction with them running canon with the Spider-Man 98 that's coming up. And of course they're probably going to throw in X-Men as well. If y'all think that could be a possibility.
I don't, but I hear
it's
you.
Possible.
I don't. But I mean, but one of my, I'm excuse me, I'm sorry, I tongue tied a little bit there. SSJ will roast me though, but one of my favorite things about Marvel Comics is their whole What If series. I mean, so anything is happening. So if that it could be a what if thing, and what if so what if
Mhm.
that might happen? Hell, we went to the comic book store. We saw the what if thing. We saw Venom with the
Yep.
powers of Doctor Strange. He had the whole. He what was what was the cloak called again?
Well, I don't even know what it's called.
Well, I
Not
know
the cloak of
what I know
levitation,
what
but
you.
whatever. But you saw the picture I was talking about,
Yeah,
and
and
it
the
was
mirror
Eddie
was
Brock
broken.
villain. He was standing on like he was like I'm that dude floating, whatever like that, and he had the cloak of levitation on. See, I just said it. There we go. All right. And then he was just that dude. And we was like, yo, what happened? Then we saw Sabretooth that had Wolverine claws, but he was dressed exactly like Cable. Remember that comic?
Yep,
And I was
yep.
like, what was going
Yeah, that's a. I think that might be a special cover for Wolverine 49. I don't think 50s came out yet.
on? That was sick.
Mm-hmm.
So I'm all down for shit like that,
Well,
bro.
I mean, I don't have much history of knowledge to have read the original Uncanny series, and then they've extended that Uncanny series like several times, if I'm not mistaken.
Sorry, I am here. My team just kind of failed on me, so I'm just having to take over.
There we go. All right, Jonah, you back in here? Okay, yeah. So it's hard it's hard for me to make assumptions on what they're going to add into this Uncanny series because the Uncanny started in what, like 1970, and it's had continuations and different versions like since then, or have they always just like extended its storyline from now? I'm asking you guys since you guys kind of been keeping up with this more than I have.
I mean, I don't know too much about What If like that. I mean, I
Well,
know
oh,
they've
no,
been
I'm not
going
referring
on
to What
for a
If.
while.
I'm not talking about What If. I'm talking about the Uncanny itself series.
Oh. Yeah, I don't know about that.
Sorry, my team just lost. Dude, they're arguing so hard right now. Oh my god. Sorry, my bad.
Anyways, I'll
My
probably
bad.
head out since it's getting a little bit late, but I'll probably stay in the chat or something. Who knows? But anyways, I'll see you guys.
All right, bro.
Yeah, we go one
Thanks,
good
man.
set.
Morph,
All right,
missing
Jonah.
presumed dead. Rogue, missing presumed dead. Dust,
Oh, Jonah,
Archangel, missing presumed
oh,
dead.
damn, I didn't know that was
He's
his name. I
missing
should
and
have hit him
presumed
with
dead
some
for a
Naruto
different
shit. Anyway.
reason than this final battle, but who knows? He could also be displaced in time by Apocalypse to turn him into one of his horsemen, like he does in the comics. And then Magic, and then the bottom row, Wolverine, missing presumed
Days
dead.
of Future
Iceman,
Past,
Havoc,
timeline
Cable,
looking
AWOL,
shit.
Then where the
Exodus,
hell is
Quicksilver,
Iceman? I thought he was dead.
presumably with his
Bobby
sister,
Drake, not in
Kitty
this
Pryde,
timeline.
and Emma Frost. So, Forge, Colossus, Dust, Magic, Iceman, Havoc, Exodus, Kitty Pryde, and Emma Frost are all still alive, on world, and at least available in case Forge is assembling some X Factor lineup. So where did Jubilee and Sunspot go? Well, they're kids. They don't want to have to keep fighting in these wars, especially now when their leader would be Forge, someone that they don't really know that well. But where are Wolverine, Storm, and Morph? Because they are missing presumed dead.
They're
we
with-
don't see them in any of the final scenes of this episode.
They're in the
Although
BC
DeMeo said
shit.
that they are in one of the two timelines, which I think means they're either in 3000 BC or in 3960.
They're in the BC
AD.
shit.
And when someone guessed 3980, DeMeo tweeted no prize. So no prize is something DeMeo says a lot in these responses, and it's really a
Marvel
reference
used
to
to
Marvel
do
Comics
that
fan
shit.
letters where you get something correct, and then they would say no prize to confirm that you should not expect a prize for your correct answer.
It's your
So
boo-boo.
this
Yep.
confirms that Wolverine, Morph, and Storm are somewhere else in the background of 3960 AD. We just don't see them. But Scarlet Witch and Quicksilver being off-world is probably the most interesting because Forge didn't label them as missing. He knows they're off-world. I think Wanda and Pietro might be on the moon because Quicksilver in the comics briefly marries the Inhuman Crystal, and their wedding is held in the Inhuman city of Attilan. And maybe Wanda is using this wedding trip to search for their father or some kind of clues or remnants in the blue area of the moon. So Bishop finally returns, hinting that he and Forge are friends in the future, and the X-Men are just lost in time.
But it's less a question about where and more when.
And hey, look at that, another example of a good guy mutant with a visible soul in his reflection. So the final scenes of the episode intercut between 2 points in history, 3000 BC in ancient Egypt, showing Rogue, Nightcrawler, Beast, Charles, and Magneto, and then in the future year of 3960 AD, Cyclops and Jean. And again, according to DeMeo, Wolverine, Storm, and Morph. If you look at Jean and Scott's background, Egyptian pyramids continue to stand, and young Nathan comes out of ruins with
Which would
Egyptian
probably
hieroglyphs.
would literally happen.
3960 AD, they are geographically actually in Egypt, just in the aftermath of some future war.
You put him in a sample.
Climate
Oh,
or
Lady
maybe
Ascani.
it's just dust billows over the North African
Which
desert.
is
I think
Rachel.
taking them to the stomping grounds of Insabaner was intentional by Apocalypse. Like, he wanted to split up the X-Men to his past and to his
Seven
future.
Lives.
Ultimately, I think on a Horseman recruitment mission. Cyclops and Jean meet Cable's rebel friends from the future, and they are crazy.
You're a long way from Crest Coast, Sapien Cast. You may call me Mother Ascani, leader of Clan
Mother
Ascani.
lady.
So Ascani is Rachel Summers, Scott and Jean's daughter. We saw a version of Ascani reassembling the Golden Gate Bridge in Cable's Story of the Future back in episode 8. And then they meet young Nathan, recognizing him from his eyes. So this is where baby Nathan ended up alone, where he grew up after Bishop brought him into the future and Bishop got sucked away probably by Apocalypse. So how is Ascani still alive? Has she reached some form of immortality? Has she been alive for 4,000 years? I think the idea here is that Scott and Jean might have conceived her at some other point in the future before this. I mean, hey, maybe all of these rebels are just time-displaced loners from various points of history who just crash landed here. And she says things like West Coast, Sapien Cast, it kind of sounds like some Cloud Atlas. Right?
I hear it. Lay down. Lay down.
And then Sapien Cast
Lay
suggests
down.
a caste system of humans and mutants
Okay.
where people who look and talk like Scott and
I hear
Jean
you.
are now considered
I hear it.
or maybe even
I
a
know.
higher social class. Mother Ascani
Gosh.
Count on America.
is voiced by Gates McFadden, who played Dr. Crusher in Star Trek The Next Generation, which is another reason DeMeo told us to watch that cause and effect episode. Meanwhile, the other group in 3000 BC in ancient Egypt meets this guy.
My name is En Sabanur.
Apocalypse.
Oh dear.
So, Insabanur is the original name for Apocalypse. Apocalypse originated in ancient Egypt. Insabanur, a nomadic warrior, the first known mutant on Earth, with pale gray skin and the blue lines on his face. Marvel Comics writers chose the name Insabanur, intending it to translate to the Seven Lights, but we're not sure if the translation is accurate. The Uncanny X-Force comics explore how he was recruited by the Celestials to be a guardian to ensure evolution takes its natural course, so they enhance his body with celestial technology. Over time, he took on the name Apocalypse and was worshipped as a god, going in and out of states of hibernation as he seeks new
Old
mutant host bodies
Testament.
throughout history, always recruiting 4 horsemen as his strike force. It's implied by
When-
the X-Men comics that he was actually the Old Testament god who is described in religious texts. He, of course, was played by Oscar Isaac in 2016's X-Men Apocalypse. But now he's voiced by Adi Tokumbo McCormick, who played Mr. Echo's brother, Yemi, on Lost. And notice how they mixed in an audio effect, really a subtler form of the distortion that they gave to
Hold
Joe
on, hold
Carlos
on.
and James Blendick, who voiced
Here's a personal Easter egg. Isn't that the second Lost reference that they've made
Props.
for this episode? And that was Paul's last 8 or 9 rated show that he said that he gave an 8 or a 9, and it's got Lost. Oh gosh.
Yeah.
the character throughout the 90s run. So Apocalypse showed up throughout that series as part of the Cure storyline initially in season 1, episode 9, when he was commanding Mystique in season 1, trying to orchestrate the assassination of Robert Kelly. And then from there became much more of a timeline villain, like in the season 2 Time Fugitives.
I definitely don't like that Apocalypse suit. It's kind of lame to me. The old one.
At the very end of the season 4 Sanctuary arc, and then shows back up in the Beyond Good and Evil time travel story, the end of season 4, and then lastly in season 5, episode 5, the Fifth Horseman, which followed up with Fabian Cortez as Apocalypse's vessel. So that massive golden dome in the distance looks like it could be celestial technology, what was used in the ancient world to guide the construction of the pyramids, perhaps. Now remember, Immortus, aka Kang, exists in the X-Men animated series continuity in the Nexus of Time. In season 2 of X-Men 97, we could see a sighting of the Kang variant Pharaoh Ramatut in this period of history. So onto the post-credit scene, the present-day ruins of Genosha. Apocalypse's more familiar form retrieves something from the ashes.
So much pain, my children. So much death.
He recovers Gambit's Queen of Hearts, which is another nod to the Cause and Effect Star Trek episode, because Data flipped over 2 queens for Dr. Crusher, one of them being the Queen of Hearts, which is what contributed to her deja vu that they were indeed in a time loop. But obviously the takeaway here is that Apocalypse, as he does in the 2006 Blood of Apocalypse arc, is recruiting Gambit to be one of his 4 horsemen, the horseman that represents death. This was foreshadowed back in episode 7 when a giant form of Gambit appeared to Charles in the astral plane and turned into a skeleton. So Gambit is death that would leave 3 other horsemen.
Remember I said that, Heffrey?
So what is Apocalypse doing? I don't think Apocalypse had anything to do with Bastion or really all the evil of this season. I think it completely disagrees with what Bastion was trying to do. But Apocalypse was the one who knocked Bishop off course, probably to ferry Nathan Summers into the future to set Cable on that trajectory. Apocalypse, I believe, is the one who unstuck Asteroid M from time and took most of the X-Men to 3000 BC, which would be his origin point, because we are going to see the events of Rise of Apocalypse. Meanwhile, he took Jean and Scott to 3960 AD. I think really what he's trying to do is recruit horsemen from different points in time. He might have sent Scott and Jean to the future because he encountered Cable before and he just kind of needs them to be part of that history. But if Gambit is death, maybe Apocalypse wants Magneto for war, Storm for famine, and Jean Grey for pestilence. I think he's targeting Omega level mutants. And notice how much this season wanted us to think of Storm and Jean and Magneto as Omega level. Why? Because Apocalypse is all about that letter A. He is the Alpha. And together with the Omegas, they would complete the Alpha and the Omega and represent a truly godly force. Apocalypse's plan is probably what it always is, to remake society by wiping the planet clean of humans and mutants who he believes are not fit to survive. He can use the suffering they experienced under Bastion's plan and Graydon Creed's upcoming plan to really make his point that it might just be better to start over from a clean slate. So that's why I'm focused so much on Charles and Magnus's easy success at repairing their psyche. Like, after an entire season of stressing that Magneto was right and that Charles is just a flawed teacher, does it really make sense that Charles's smug confidence was enough to win people over with a great lecture with solid visual aids? I think what really brought these two old friends together was the cold chaos of the stormy seas, the darkness that will one day be named Onslaught. This episode began with a call for peace made out of an Old Testament Bible verse song and ends with an answer from an Old Testament God who was there when the Old Testament was being written. Apocalypse separated Charles and Magnus, but he kept them together, and I think he knows what was truly just between the two of them. So that completes our coverage for this season of X-Men 7, and I want to thank you all again for joining us each week. The fact that you would spend all your week with new rock stars and put up with my weird takes, it just means so much to me. It's been a really difficult few months for me, and getting to geek out over this show with you all every week has just been
come over here and lay down. Lay down.
I want to thank all
lay down.
Barrick,
Lay down.
Noah Chen, Evan Yee, Jessica Clemens,
Still
John
lay down.
Costa, Alex Berg for
Lay
their
down.
research and their wisdom for these
Lay down.
breakdowns, and to our hardworking post-production team, including Josh
Lay down.
Bird, Drew Coombs, Riley Oskelis, Aaron
Thank you.
Carrion, Ed
Good boy.
Vilderman, Jordan West, and
Good
Eric
boy.
Gorday
Lay
for
down
making
now.
these videos look so good. Comment down below with your thoughts. Follow me at EA Voss. Subscribe to all 3 channels of the New Rockstars Network for breakdowns and news coverage of everything you love. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you next time. Bye.
That was an interesting breakdown. Hopefully, we're going to get a... Well, actually, old boy Bo did season 1 and 2. He leaves season 3 open for another writer, if I'm not mistaken, guys.
We'll see.
Season 1 and 2?
Yeah, he did season 1 and 2.
Okay.
So big. So hopefully we don't get a drop off at all. But if Bo's involved with this, the only drop off I'm only gonna, if there is gonna be a drop off,
might bring him back for another season.
They should bring him back for another season. But the only possibility I could see of a drop off is if people are just not interested in Apocalypse itself. I'm fascinated with Apocalypse because we're talking about getting into a little more biblical sense. It's getting close to religion. And I mean, we'll probably see a display of almost like would that be called? We'll get into more into deities and demigods. If you get in, yeah, might get a whiff of that per se. Get the old whiff. If you know, you know.
We don't know. No. Damn it, I just died.
Does anybody want to include anything before I close this out?
I got a lot, but I'm in the middle of this game, but I feel.
Okay, I mean, I got a little bit of patience. I got a little bit of time.
For what I got going on right now.
All right. Well, all right, guys. about to conclude this stream.
Are you calling it for a night, or are you down to hop on some sticks?
I'm probably calling it. I'm getting freaking tired.
Well, I'm going to go ahead and drop a little Twitch stream in the Discord. So if anyone's down to still play some games, hit me up.
Yep. There you have it. Hold on. Let me see here if I can pull up.
I'm gonna throw.
For the people that'll possibly watch this stream, might want to see what your Twitch is. So let me.
I've thrown it in the Discord multiple times. I'll do it again tonight.
Well, okay, this is going to be streamed to YouTube, so I'm about to put the link to your Twitch name for people that watch this as well. You can check out Bundle on Twitch TV as the Boy Bundle. The link is right there. Hopefully you guys get this far when y'all see or watch this stream. Might get a couple people too.
Appreciate it.
No problem. Okay.
I'm sleeping hard. I forgot the new Boruto manga came out yesterday.
Well, sir, you have some work to do.
I mean, get up early and do that. Dang, I'm slipping.
Yeah, I'm about to eat and then lay on down.
Yeah, I'm definitely finna lay it down for the night though.
Yeah. Don't die, boy.
Man should have
all the time.
Man should be dominance in any food chain. Man should be on top. Period. I don't believe in man. I don't believe in female presidents. I don't believe in female power. None of that.
I don't know about
man
you
should
in the
be on top
bedroom.
of
I
the
like
food
my
chain.
women on top.
Yeah, baby.
I agree with you in a lot of those things. I feel that.
Yeah.
Thank you.
Because I'm not. Look.
It's the only time I
Man
say I
are
agree with Paul,
dominant
but
creatures.
We
Men
are
are
dominant,
dominant
I get that,
creatures.
but
If
you
we
also
Paul, we know
hit
that.
a woman, if we hit a woman, we're
No,
going to
the
get
only-
double
the
the
only-
time in prison.
I understand that but the only problem is when you come face to face with that, you're looking for that representation of male dominance in things as simple as a cartoon. So it's just like sometimes just let it just be great. I feel what you're saying now. I feel what you're saying.
Look,
now. But when we're in
nobody's disagreeing with that.
a
We're
world-
talking
but
about
we're-
X-Men.
We're in a world, but when we're in a world like this, but we're talking about X-Men. We got to understand that it's not like these women characters just got their characters. Most of the majority of the females in X-Men are stronger than all the guys. So if they have a point
That's
that
what
they
we've
show
been trying to say.
superiority,
like
it's
Rogue
not
and
it's not
Jean
to
Grey.
be like, oh, we're demasculating men or fuck Captain America or nothing like that. It's just like they've always been stronger than him. They've always had that up on him, and it's their show to represent them. You want to be a fan of Captain America, you got 10, 15 years worth of MCU to go ahead and celebrate Chris Evans. You know what I mean? Like, in this particular here, we want to show you that, hey, the X-Men are just as strong. They're just as pivotal. They're just as great. And to the point of it, yeah, she can come up to America's top and shield away. You know what I mean? Does that look a little bit on him? But it's
Yeah, like it
always-
looks
but it's
disrespectful.
it looks disrespectful, but it's to the props of this is
But it
how
makes sense,
serious the
yeah.
X-Men are. And if we go ahead and pursue X-Men versus Avengers, you need to understand that there ain't no pushovers here. The world knows the MCU and Avengers. Y'all need to know the X-Men, how they are. Fox portrayed them a decent way, but this is how they really, really are. And Rogue would wipe them.
she would have wiped her. So I mean,
She would.
was it disrespectful? Yeah, but they got it right. They did get it right.
I don't think they got it right.
How I
guess
saw
what?
it is
Guess
that
what?
she
This
was
was
just on her
before this
period
era.
that day, too.
Before this era.
It
This
could
is
have been. It
original
could have been a
X-Men.
better. For your prop, Paul, it could have been better if it happened to a different Avenger that didn't hold so much weight and respect. You know what I mean? But
because
it had to
he's
be
the
Cap.
face
It had to be Cap.
He's the face of the
And
Avengers.
I mean, no, you're right. But that's why they did it, because he's the face. If they thrown Thor, Hulk, Captain Marvel, it'd have been a fight. Scarlet Witch, it's a fight. You know what I mean? So it's like she can't do that and just get away. You can do that with Captain America, get away, and it holds weight because it's Captain Marvel. You know what I mean? If it happened to anyone else, Hawkeye, they
Plus,
can't
the
do that.
X-Men kills the Avengers comics too, where the X-Men beat the Avengers.
I get what you say, Bundle, but I felt like she didn't have to do all that. She could have just talked to him, and they could have disagreed, and then she flew off.
She didn't.
She didn't have to throw his shield.
I wanted a fight. That's what I wanted.
But I
She didn't.
explained
But
it
I
earlier.
felt Bo
though. She was all-
DeMaio. Bo
she was all
DeMaio wanted
emotional.
that. He wanted it. She was.
Yeah, 'cause
she.
he's gay.
I'm still here. I'm just
Bo
running
DeMaio
to
is
the
gay.
rest.
She went after the United States government. She went after Thunderbolt Ross, the same, the facility meant to build the Hulk. She said, "F it. I went after the general already. So Captain America, you're actually beneath him. He gives you your orders. Ready to attack big, big shit like that." And like I said, I do agree with you. What it says, like, damn, look like this. Did that on purpose to see importance and the severity of Rogue's strength. And the importance of this scene, like, yo, she's disrespecting the Avengers right now. We now understand that the next season to be Onslaught, bring the Avengers in, man, versus Avengers. Onslaught technically kind of killed Avengers to leave. Like,
I don't know if it's my computer or you
why they
coming
did
in
it,
and
but
out.
I was saying, what am
I
I?
don't know if it's my
My
computer or
bad.
you coming in and out.
My bad.
Is that you?
It might be me. I apologize. It might be me, because I do have a lot of things connected at the moment, though. But no, I absolutely saying. But from Bo DeMaio, however he wants to say his last name, I understood the ground he was trying to set to make it a more pivotal moment than it was. So that's it.
I
Gotta
get
have
what
some
you said,
discourse
but
in the
it's like
X-Men. Yeah.
I get what you said, but it's like almost.
Would it
every-
meant
You said what?
anything? I feel you. Go ahead. My bad. I keep cutting you off. My bad. I keep cutting you off. There's a
get
little
what-
delay. So yeah, my bad.
I get what you saying, but it's like every Marvel product is like that, where a female has to do something to prove that she's strong. And like almost every Marvel movie or show.
that-
So I'm at the
That's
point.
how
It's like,
society
damn,
is now, right?
It's getting tired.
It's tiresome indeed, but I feel like in X-Men,
It-
specifically Rogue, Captain America, like it definitely, I mean, it made sense. Like, yes, it's still disrespectful. She didn't have to just get all pissy and throw his shield away. Because I explained earlier, Captain America even said, I can't go around bashing in people's heads in Mexico. And she still didn't care. She still got up and threw the shield. So she was just all in her feelings and all emotional.
Yeah. She was. But now you're right though. But ask yourself this: would it have mattered if she did that to any other Avenger? Because I mean, obviously she can't do it to the powerhouse Avengers, because then you got to fight right then and there, and they don't have the budget to do that. But they want to focus on that, man. So outside of Cap,
I feel like some of us wouldn't be complaining. If it
or
was
Marvel.
They could have just.
Like, what other
She didn't even
Marvel
have to
character
do
could they have done that to that would have carried weight? Because I mean, even though we don't like that,
Sure.
we also have that in the back of our minds that carries some sort of weight. So whatever they have that goes on with Batman, you are now at odds with the Avengers. So we still remember that now. But like, what other character in Marvel would that have given us okay, you know what I'm saying? Like who else could she have done that to?
I mean, she could have
Avengers
talked to Captain.
You know what I mean? Outside of Cap.
She could have talked to Captain America, and it could have been an emotional moment without her taking his shield. She could have been yelling at him, screaming at him, and
She
showing
did.
her pain. She didn't have to go that
I feel
route.
that.
Yeah,
Yeah,
she could
she didn't
have
have
yelled
to.
and screamed. We could have saw her tears, and then it would have got the audience like, "Damn, this girl's in pain." Gambit died. Like it could have went that direction. She didn't have to grab his shield, throw a hole in the wall.
But is that still a reason to say this show sucks though? Because of that
No,
moment?
that's
But
not.
exactly. Yeah.
Plenty of
Okay.
reasons.
Okay.
No,
Okay.
it's plenty
Okay.
of reasons.
I hear that. I hear that.
Yeah.
I hear that. I hear what you're saying. I hear that, and I know I'm not in fully disagreement, but I feel there is, and I don't like to use this word agenda because I don't like it because it has negative connotations. But I feel like there is an underwritten agenda Bo DeMaio has going into second season, whether we go towards Onslaught or the Messiah complex with the Summers family with Hope, or we go to X-Men versus Avengers, which absolutely does happen after Wolverine gets Mantium pulled. Because Charles is his rocker once Magneto and absorbs Magneto's mind, and that creates Onslaught, and the X-Men and Avengers team up to beat him, and then they fight against each other. So that does, I mean, this disrespectful scene once again, but it set
Leading
up
up to
some
something
groundwork.
crazy.
I was about to play
It'll
that.
set
Black,
up
I was about to
something
play
crazy.
that Black
It
Panther
does. It
video.
does set it up.
So
I hope you're right, Bundle.
Remember, Marvel is famous for the bait and
too,
switch.
As long as I don't get another sheep, Love and Thunder, I'll be all right.
Well, so is, if you want to talk about bait and switch, what about that Knuckles show that's not about Knuckles?
Yep.
They brought up for Disney.
Oh, that's a bait and switch right
that?
there.
We doing that right now? Oh no, we save
What's
that.
that show
Save that
about?
because I have much to talk.
It's about the human
Save
character that was in the
bullshit.
first two Sonic
nah,
movies.
that deserves its own stream.
Knuckles is only in about 20 minutes
That's
of the
what I'm
whole
saying.
show, which is 6 episodes.
What? No way.
I'm not kidding.
I'm whooping somebody's ass. I'm whooping somebody. That's damn near worse than going after the female Silver Surfer first before Norn Red. I'm not even.
That Fantastic Four movie going to be trash.
Yeah, Fantastic Four is going to be dead in the water.
I can't believe doing that, bro. I can't believe they're
dropped the
doing
ball
that.
so
That's-
bad. Haha, Queen. Okay, Queen Ari says.
Yeah, but he can actually beat Captain America, though.
He can, yeah.
That's a fact.
But
Rogue can actually beat Captain America.
Yeah, Rogue can beat him better.
Yeah, but it's a woman beating on a man. That's why it's a masculinity.
But you have to take in consideration the powers of the women.
And plus, if they come into
it's
conflict,
not just like it's a regular like white bitch is coming in saying hands, nigga. Like she's absorbed the powers of Captain Marvel. She may not have cosmic energy projection, but she still has the physical durability and physical capabilities of that. Captain Marvel was able to split planets and moons fighting toe-to-toe with Thor. What is Cap gonna do?
Exactly.
I'm just saying, don't put him in that situation.
Okay. Okay. All right. Well, I mean,
so
that's what I said before.
Don't like
what
X-Men.
Marvel character of significance should have been there because it has to hold weight. Because if it's just a regular Ant-Man or Hawkeye.
I told you how I wanted the scene to be. She just arguing with Captain America and she's emotional.
But would that have sold the scene the same way?
It would have, depending on the words.
For as powerful as she is, that's how she would display emotion.
But that's what me and SSJ were talking about before. If the future is X-Men versus Avengers, you just planted the grounds for that. Because otherwise it would just be they just don't like each other, blah blah blah. Like now it has reference to it, like Rogue attacked the government. Captain acts under Thunderbolt Ross. She attacked Thunderbolt Ross. Magneto made an attack on the humans. He said, I will bring me and my team to get Gyrick and anything else as soon as it happens. Your mutants are now an attack on American people and to Thunderbolt. That sets up perfectly Avengers and X-Men. And the catalyst was you throwing my fucking shield, not thinking I'm going to help you. So like I said, the emasculization, it is there. But like I said, Bo DeMaio is laying the groundwork for something much bigger.
And I think we're just looking at that right then and there, like, oh, female, yeah, you're emasculating it. But if you think about what's coming in the future and who the character actually is, how else would that scene go?
I hope you're right, Bundle.
I hope I am too.
I don't agree.
They're changing writers, so we
I hope I am.
I don't know if y'all read the comics, but Rogue destroyed Captain America in that comic too.
I
It's
know,
on the
man.
comic cover.
I mean,
it's on the comic cover.
That's what Queen just put right here. Queen knows her shit.
Let me ask you this real quick.
I read the comic
Captain
recently.
America definitively beat Wolverine in a fight? And before you answer that, I'm just only saying is because when the fight first started, Wolverine popped his claws and Rogue took Wolverine out immediately and said, "Hold on, sugar. You playing to kill. This is just a regular fight." She got him out of there immediately. Now, would she do the same thing to Cap that she did to Wolverine in the beginning of that fight?
She would probably throw his shield away. You're not gonna block these hits. You're not gonna block these hits, though. I bet.
I got you. Because she took Wolverine out until the very, very end of when Wolverine snatched his helmet, and then when he stabbed him in the back. But outside that, Rogue, she said, "Hold on, you stay down." I think she would do the same thing to Cap, but I don't know.
I'm totally aware of this feminist agenda crap, but I mean, come on, it's common sense. Rogue is washing Captain America.
Yeah, I'm there with you. And that feminist agenda, as far as the MCU, was apparent in Love and Thunder and holy shit, Marvels and She-Hulk. And this one right here, it does make sense that she's leagues beyond Cap. Like, I can't get mad at this one.
She was always leagues beyond Cap, though.
It wasn't an agenda. This is how it's supposed to happen.
Agenda. Stop it.
It's supposed to happen.
Woman beat on man, woman strong, man weak, man dumb, women are the best.
She-Hulk, you're right. She-Hulk, you're right.
Wait, what about She-Hulk?
She-Hulk, you're right.
What about She-Hulk in the comics, Paul?
I mean, hell, even She-Hulk in the very first episode when Hulk
about
teaching her how to super jump, she was like, "Man!" After she made her jump, and I was like, "All right,
It was cringe.
This bullshit."
Like the show was already cringe when she was like,
This one didn't do that. Like the women, I didn't feel like their representation of powers diminished the guys. I really didn't feel like it. You know, I mean, Storm, very beginning, turning the proverbial sands of time into glass and making a tornado to kill all the Sentinels. She would do that. You know, Madeline Pryor being the Goblin Queen and beating Magneto hands up one-on-one. You know, that would happen. You know, this episode, Rogue and Cap, that would happen. So you are right, Paul, to a degree, as far as the she-male agenda, the MCU, and pushing guys down. But this particular show, outside of the nonsense with Jubilee and all that, they could have focused on better characters. But outside of that, they did get the women's powers right in this episode. They did. They got them right.
Jesus Christ.
I didn't like how one thing though. Once Sunspot hit Jubilee with his powers, I'm sorry, Jubes, and then started going hands up, blah 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 blah. If you actually look at fucking like Sunspot's real powers, he gets Omega. It's not like the same way Bobby Drake, but Days of Future Past, Sunspot, Omega though, he would mop Jubilee.
Yeah, he
would mop her, bro.
He should have defeated Jubilee in seconds.
Mop her. And Marvel, I will say this, and I'm not sure if this is the same in this show, but Marvel is always depicted, I don't know if you guys notice this, so pause, but the black balls that come off of characters that Stan Lee and Jack Kirby originally drew and animated. You know, if they have, like, you guys know what I'm talking about. They always kind of have this little black ball of cosmic or kinetic energy appear off a character if they have cosmic energy projection or whatever like that, and they use art style towards Sunspot. And I'm like, Sunspot doesn't have that, but they've given him that sort of power outlook. I don't know if that makes sense, but anyway, if you guys know what I'm talking about,
I know what you're
a lot of
talking
powerful cosmic entities. Marvel always depicts them to know that, hey, they're the power cosmic by giving these black balls of kinetic energy that comes off of them. And and obviously, SSJ knows what I'm talking about. But if you guys ever notice that and pick that up, they do that with a lot of like Eternity, Infinity, the Celestials, Eternals, whatever have you, Matsumi
A lot of
Kiboshi,
cosmic
Chaos
type
King. Yeah, a lot of
characters.
cosmic beings. And I noticed that they gave that same energy projection to Sunspot. And even though he's not projected to be that strong in the comics, especially Days of Future Past, he is an Omega level mutant. So with that being said, long story short, I thought it was really stupid that he was going head to head with Jubilee. It's like, nah, nigga, he would destroy Jubilee. But anyway,
he was playing with her basically.
he would destroy. The only other fire user in Marvel Comics that I know to be stronger than Sunspot, honestly, would be Johnny Storm, because he can reach Supernova times 10. But outside of that, there's no other fire user stronger than Johnny Storm and Sunspot in the Marvel Comics.
And I got a problem with them not using Bishop in this X-Men 97.
Yeah.
Like, come on, man.
They could have used him more.
Come on.
They could have used him better.
This man
And I
probably
didn't like
said
how they
2
just
words
like,
in the whole show.
Bishop and Cable got separated when they went back, so this is why Cable is there. It's like, show us that. Like, kill the Jubilee Sunspot
Kill the
shit.
Jubilee
Show us the Bishop shit.
Yeah,
Show us that.
exactly.
Show us that, because there was a whole thing of the whole past thing with Forge, Bishop, Forge making Bishop time travel, Storm and Wolverine being lovers, them having to defeat those. That's way better than anything Jubilee and Sunspot going on. Like
that story.
That was
they could have did that.
That story that you just mentioned is killing this X-Men story that we're watching now.
Okay, I'm with you.
Yeah,
I'm
to
agree.
me, it's like if you cannot make the original story, if you can't make your story better than the original one, just go with the original story.
I'm with you. Okay, no, 100%. I'm with you there. No arguments.
Just go
I
with
got
the
no
original
arguments.
story.
I'm no arguments. I got you there. Yeah, take that Jubilee, the little video game thing, which I did think was kind of interesting. You know what I mean? I got a soft spot.
I skipped that episode.
I wasn't interested, but I still watched it.
Because
I hated that episode.
I skipped
Ready
it.
Player One is one of my favorite movies, so being an interactive part of a video game, I kind of dug it. But I do understand for a more casual, and not even casual, even devout Marvel fans, y'all should have made that about somebody else.
I like Ready Player One too, but
I love
care
that,
for
but
Jubilee,
they
so I
should have
skipped
made
that
it about
episode
somebody
altogether.
else. I thought that should have been, like I already said,
They should've
Wolverine,
stick with the
Storm, Days
original
of Future
story.
Past, whatever shit. I thought.
But Paul, I'm going to reiterate this again. These are the things that he's critiquing. He is yet to say that he doesn't like this show.
I didn't
So
say
don't want
he
you-
did say.
I know. I want to make sure you. I just want to make sure you don't think that.
I don't think that.
Because you do get confused.
No, I don't.
Because you just got confused a second ago with SSJ.
And he said multiple episodes, so that's basically the whole show.
No,
Basically,
those are
multiple
things that he
episodes.
can critique out of it.
He did
So
not
nobody-
say one episode, asshole. He
No,
said
I didn't
multiple
say what episode. Look. He said
shut
multiple things that he wanted to critique from the show.
No, he
did
said
not.
multiple episodes, jackass.
That's what I just said.
right
I
there.
just said he said multiple episodes. What are you talking about?
Okay, but you act like
Y'all
he
are
said
arguing
one
about
episode.
the same thing.
That's what I'm saying. Only thing I'm telling you is don't get him confused with SSJ either.
No, just shut up.
Because
Shut
you
the
are confused. Because you're a confused individual sometimes.
I'm not. You are. Get a life.
Let's get back
Nothing
to it.
confusing about me. He was trashing this show before episode 8 came out.
But he
Period.
never said he didn't like the show.
Nah.
He never said the show
If
was
he's
trash.
if he's giving me paragraphs of how bad these episodes is, he's basically shitting on the show.
Y'all having a critiquing a
Shut
conversation.
up and go to the next topic, dude. Nobody want to hear about what your bitch ass gotta say.
Oh, now you mad? Why you gotta call people bitch asses down, bro?
You wasn't even into this shit.
You
until
mad? No, bro. I was interested in X-Men, bro. That's one of the few things I'm interested in.
Whatever. Next subject, man.
Damn. Let's get back to this.
He
One of
said
them
next
days.
subject.
Next subject, gosh.
Boy, you like drama like a female, boy.
Drama.
You gotta get that ad blocker, boy.
Wait. What's the next order of business? I missed the last part. I was talking to some.
Don't worry about it. Hey.
Hold on. I didn't mean to call you that. I'm sorry.
Okay, hold on. Okay. So Paul, I'm gonna tell you something right now. Everything's convenient when it's in your favor, and it's hilarious. You know what I'm saying? Everything's convenient for you. You know what I mean? When you're having your fun, but when it's time for you to get called out on some shit, change the subject. Nah. I don't want to be there for it. Oh, yeah, right, sensitive fuck.
Nah, I'm not sensitive.
Bro, you are obviously sensitive.
I'm not. You think you right all the fucking time, and
I actually don't. I admit I'm wrong all the time.
Nah, you act like you right all the fucking
When's the last time?
and you act like a female when you're.
When? Hold on, your connection acting up.
Just shut up.
Hold on, your correct. There you go. No,
you got that computer love playing on that computer by Zap.
Yeah, mother say, bro. See, y'all, this is what happens when you hang out with your buddies on the stream with your shirt off. You act like Paul.
I can't have my shirt off in the home I live.
When you butt ass naked on the bed talking to your homies, you get sensitive like Paul.
I am not naked.
Naked.
What?
Naked. He didn't say naked. He said naked, like Steve Harvey.
Look at all this shit. Wow.
I have shorts on and boxers.
I got shorts on. Don't you ever get me fucked up. So what is all this?
Nathan to the future, and Nathan arrived at that future alone. So I feel like Bishop may be in the axis of time with the Mortis, but either way, Bishop's going back.
He's just not in it because he's black.
Is so mean, considering Morph died in the second episode of the original series, so barely even 30 minutes of screen time.
Do y'all think we're going to get they're ever going to go into the future and give us a kiddier version of Cable?
You started indulging both of your passions at once with Marvel Move. Marvel Move is an immersive audio fitness experience.
Me either. I want to see the original version
of it. Or jog in the real world as audio.
Because I mean, that's what Bishop will be doing right now, wouldn't he?
Like the Hulk, Doctor Strange, or the X-Men.
You better run, Buck.
But wouldn't Cable already be grown up though, because of the time?
Hey Jeff, is this how you have your video thing set up? I mean,
yeah.
Okay, so I can't stand
it.
Right,
to run in and could use some guidance. A Marvel Move subscription includes Thor and Loki's 5-day
getting shit over here. Like I did something.
Run your first 5 kilometer with 12 hours of audio drama. When you run with Marvel Move, you're the protagonist in an epic adventure. There's no feeling quite like taking on Sentinels alongside the X-Men or running away.
No, stop. Don't bring that here. Stop.
Are you talking to me?
What is he doing?
What's going on, Bundle?
Bundle, what kind of dance you do?
What the hell is going on, Bundle? You just said stop something, and then like you're not saying anything at all.
Stop. Hammer time.
Okay, I thought he was talking to me.
Man, don't worry about it. It's oh, the issues over here. Sorry.
All right, we're about to keep this going then.
All of a sudden, the fucking bad guy just don't want to be online.
From A-list writers like Teenie Howard and Jerry Duggan, plus more series.
Oh fuck! Page is one.
X-Men film version of the Black
Page is one.
Beast has to keep introducing new Blackbirds because they keep blowing them up. But in the lower right, there are 2 different generations of.
Yeah, a little late on that one.
The yellow one actually appears to be based on the Marvel Legends toy, but there's also a blue one that looks bulkier and more fortified. Maybe this is one designed for battle. Behind that is the vintage
Wolverine cycle. I had that toy.
Cycle, and it's the claws on the front. It's got pop wheelie action, and it was released by
1993. I had that
of course,
toy.
Toy Biz was the company of Ike Perlmutter, and it was this company that bought Marvel in the mid-90s and led to Marvel's ventures into film and TV, eventually leading to Marvel Studios. But then in the back and on the right, that fancy car looks like Charles Xavier's blue Rolls Royce from the very
That's what
first
Bastion pulls up
#1
in.
in 1963. The red convertible on the lower center.
Bastion pulls up in that same vehicle when he destroys X-Mansion.
That's right,
he did. But it looks like
the
top is up here. And then on the far left, barely noticeable, there's a motorcycle with a flame pattern. It's a Harley Davidson. This is what Wolverine drove throughout X-Men Evolution, which is technically a different but like they just put in a little Easter egg to it here.
I ain't seen Eric Box.
In the very far back on the left, looks like the dirt spike that we
They
saw in
wait
X-Men
for a
Evolution.
while. They
And
let
like, the thing
spring
with
Y'all
cover.
heard
Brandon
about the
Barrett,
reference
Virginia
they
and
made
Leo
to
for
the
helping me
Fox
track
X-Men
down a lot of
movie?
these. I seriously work with the best team of producers and editors on YouTube. Thank you guys. But then inside the base on display are
That was.
backup
I thought this
versions of
part
the
was really
X-Men
cool.
suits, and it's from like the second generation of their timeline. So again,
maybe
we see
he'll say
Storm's
it here.
original black suit from the Giant Size X-Men #1
Damn,
in
she fit. My
1975.
bad.
That was originally
My
what
bad.
Storm's first suit looked like. But then we see suits for Cyclops and Marvel Girl, Jean Grey.
Yeah,
These are
Marvel
from
Girl.
Uncanny
That was
X-Men
her original
#39 in
name.
1967.
I'm
These are
glad they
technically like the
changed
second
it.
generation suits because they were part of the
Yeah,
original lineup in
yes.
Stupid
1963. That's what we see in the painting
Nice,
in Charles'
man. Where
office.
Bobby
Then we
Drake
see
at?
Wolverine's brown and yellow suit from
His
artist
brown
John
and
Byrne, which
yep,
first appeared in
Uncanny.
Uncanny X-Men #139
Yep.
in 1980. And
Yes,
it's what
sir.
SCP
Didn't I say
Snyder's
that shit?
kids
Didn't I say that?
Mm-hmm.
Wolverine
Yes, sir.
look. And then in a later shot, you can see Rogue's original
Rose
1981
original
suit there as
outfit.
well.
She
So
I don't
wore
like
that
Rose.
underneath
I don't
her
like that
coat.
and that
outfit.
tactical jumpsuit
I don't
is
like
what
either.
you see him wearing in past missions.
I don't like.
By the way,
the
these
rest of
suits
it.
were also
I hate
worn
his
by some
eyebrow.
of the X-Men.
I'm glad
and the
this show
unaired
failed.
Pride of the X-Men pilot, which Bo DeMeo suggested watching
Gay
before this
boy.
episode as homework, even though acknowledging that it's not
Sweet and
technically
low.
canon to the other X-Men stories that he's telling. You can actually find this whole episode on YouTube. Scott tosses
That
his son
original-
in the
Oh.
suit.
Am I going
That
to
original
I
Wolverine
did like
black
the
suit.
thing. The little
That's-
spandex joint.
black leather?
I just
That's-
thought that was pretty cool.
That was a reference
At
to
the
the
line
The
in
reference
Boxing
to the
X-Men
original
Yeah,
and
Wolverine.
horrible
X-Men.
ass
Yeah, that's what I just
uniforms.
said.
I hated this. I did not like the X-Men movie when it first came out.
I
that's
love
Yeah, I
it.
didn't like
cool
that
that
costume.
they did that. I like that. I
These
thought
movies
I love
have
the first movie.
resisted putting
The
Wolverine
only
in a
character
comic accurate
costumes I
suit.
like were
That is
Wolverine.
until this year's Deadpool
Nothing
Wolverine.
makes
But the
sense.
new suit that Cyclops gives Cable is actually Cable's suit from
See,
Marvel
Paul, that's why
vs.
people are so
Capcom 2.
excited
There's
Yeah.
actually some
Deadpool
really
and
Viper
Wolverine because of the
Easter
yellow
eggs in
suit.
this episode. So Charles chats with
That's my
President
name.
Robert Kelly in an astral
NBC
plane version of
too.
the Oval Office.
In under an hour, civilization as we know it ends.
In under
Benedict
an hour.
Kelly.
Kind of sounds like President Whitmore's speech on Independence Day.
In less than an hour, aircraft from here will join others from around the world.
Hey, look, it's
Yo,
Bill Smith.
the Nuggets are clapping the Timberwolves. My goodness.
Bro, I don't know what
But
happened
the
tonight,
address
bro.
on it
But
read 1
Ant-
I gotta watch
Claremont
the
Avenue,
highlights.
Rio de Janeiro, Brazil. A reference to Chris Claremont,
And
the
Everton
comics writer
did
most
not-
responsible
he
for the
gave
best
up.
X-Men
He just gave
storylines.
up.
And then
He
the
did
phone
about
number
that.
is
Was that a bet?
009-071-982.
Oh, Pacers
So 97182, September 7th, 1982
Ooh.
is Bo DeMeo's birthday. This date was
Oh,
also
wow.
the release date
Who
of
cares
Marvel
about
graphic
who?
novel number 4,
Turn that
The New
down,
Mutants, which
Taylor.
was the first appearance of Sunspot. As they walk out to the Blackbirds, we see Morph is wearing a new suit with these shoulder pads. This is Morph's look from the Exiles. In the shoulder
Turn it
pads would
down.
normally be holding a cape, but I suppose they had a conversation about this and they're like,
Nuggets!
as Team Gold nears
Yeah,
Bastion's
that cape
island,
made 'em look
Bastion
sweet.
senses them and deploys the Sentinels. And I love how Forge and Jean are white-knuckling on those sticks. Cable, Morph, and Beast are all bracing for impact, but Storm, not worried at all. She's sitting calmly with her legs crossed.
Storm
Join
barely
Planet
in the
Fitness
show.
now and save $5 a month. Get fitness that fits your budget with equipment for every workout.
So Storm parts ways with Jean, and I love their relationship this season because Storm here calls her this.
Stronger. A survivor. A phoenix.
Ah, yes, a phoenix, which is just so
Phoenix.
interesting coming from Storm, who was recently repowered through an avian entity, the Adversary. And I kind of feel like it could be a hint to Jean to embrace her inner bird queen. And I just love the way they sign off.
Make them mind your weather, sister. And them weather your mind.
The wordplay on this series is so good. And I kind of feel like when Marvel Studios writers are writing these live action titles, they're afraid to put in lines like this, but it works so well. It's clever.
He's
and
glazing.
it's
I wouldn't say
theatrical,
it's that
and it
good,
can be,
but
we still love it because it's just so intentional and great and uses really great wordplay. And if you just have the performers commit to it, it can totally work. Okay, so on the Galapagos Island, they find this ruined town with a diner with letters missing from it so that it forms die. And then later we see from the rooftop sign that this is DeMeo's Diner, another nod to X-Men 97 former showrunner Bo DeMeo. And by the way, are we gonna feel weird having mentioned him so much throughout the season if/when we find out why exactly he was fired? Who knows? So Morph makes us also
That's sad.
happy
If
by
you
morphing
black, you
into
gotta
Hulk.
be gay
Morph!
for Marvel to hire
He
you.
says morph smashed, which either means morphed into Hulk's speech patterns and it just came
Not
out as
gay,
Morph
though.
instead of Hulk, kind of like Ditto and Pokemon.
Yeah,
who couldn't change his
all
face,
the black
or
people
Morph
that
is just
in this
cosplaying
stuff
as
is
Hulk and
gay.
just having some fun. Now, previously in the '90s run, they could not call
I
Hulk
will
out
say
by
this,
name,
I
but
know.
they did have a Danger Room Hulk
Well,
robot
Jeff,
that was
you hear
technically
me?
called Large
Yeah,
Green
what up, what up?
Neanderthal
You mind hitting the
robot.
pause
So
button
Mr.
real quick?
Sinister attacks Jean, moving
Indeed.
through the
I didn't want to go too far, but I just want to say this though. Morph is kind of turned into how I respect Shine. and the new Krakoa, Araco era and shit like this. And I don't know if you guys know who Shine is. I fuck with him as the most because basically he looks just like me. But anyway, he basically has everything what Morph does. As far as mutant powers, I think he's the strongest mutant that they have here. I think he's been the one that's kind of driving the cameos, with with the Psylocks, the Quicksilvers, for examples, and even here with the Hulk. And I did appreciate how they had Morph, and because we've seen before Gambit and Wolverine work together. Gambit ride on Wolverine's back, charges claws up, kinetic energy to be even greater. We've seen the tag team of a couple of different X-Men in the show. I did really appreciate seeing Jean and Morph. I don't know if you guys caught that, but when he turned into Hulk, he had Jean Grey's telepathy around him the entire time. So she was essentially, if you rewatch that fight with Hulk killing all those Sentinels, is Jean Grey carrying him all throughout the air, and he's spinning and doing all that shit, like punching, knocking, grabbing, Morph, smash, all that because of Jean Grey. It's not the Hulk growing it. It's like the blue force field around him. So I thought it was kind of cool. Even that one, and SSJ made a cool point about that, like when the Prime Sentinels were looking over Rogue, and Wolverine came in, it's like, yo, 6 was popping. And then Daredevil came behind him and said, nah, 9 was good. And they started cutting through everybody. Scenes like that, I think, is really cool when the mutants base their powers in synchronicity. And that's a long word, but it is. But synchronization of their skills. Yeah, to go ahead and go ham. And I thought that was pretty cool that when Morph turned into Hulk, Jean Grey used him as a battering ram to know that Hulk is going to break through everybody. And I don't know if many people caught that, but like, she was sending him through like 4 or 5 Sentinels, and he's just cracking.
I like these fight scenes.
I thought that was pretty
I'll be
cool.
honest.
I thought that was pretty cool.
Yeah, that
So
more
anyway,
fight scene when he turned into the Hulk, that was probably one of my
even
favorites
though like
in
the
that
scenes
episode.
may only be like 4 to 7 to 8, 9 seconds, it's like if you delve into understand like what they're doing, what they're trying to capture, it's like, I got you. Even when Cyclops was doing the Psylocke, I mean, excuse me, after the Cyclops scene, when Morph turned to Psylocke, you saw that.
But I also give him
and all
respect for
shit,
kind
but
of drawing Hulk, kind of like how he was in the original Hulk series. It's just he's put into this 3D style.
Yeah,
So I appreciated that.
I fucked with it. So
that makes me
short as it
believe we
may
might even
be,
see Hulk soon, since we already
short
saw
as it
General
may
Ross.
be, I appreciate it. That's
I'm
all I
thinking
wanted
about
to
the
say.
bigger things too, because like we already saw General Ross in the previous episode, so we're definitely Hulk is here somewhere in this universe.
It's here. I mean, if any of the MCU shows are gonna give us what we want, I mean, hell, it's this one. So hey, I ain't hating on it.
I would like an Incredible Hulk show, but
I would
that's
too.
probably less likely because the second season
That's
of the
against the
original show was
agenda.
terrible.
Yeah,
Y'all remember that's why I
They'll
got
never
canceled
do a
because
Hulk
the second
show.
season was like goofy compared to the first one, which was serious.
Hulk will be fun. Just because of they're not doing any more sequel movies to it. But really, I'd rather see Fantastic Four because they really have the cameos that'll keep our eyes gazed.
Fantastic Four would be way better.
Season episodes.
Yeah,
there isn't a Hulk story that you would do that would capture us outside of World Breaker Hulk, Breaker of Worlds, or Immortal Hulk. And realistically, MCU can't do the last two, so it would have to be World Breaker. How would you even put that in MCU? It's like you just introduced your son. So it's just like there would be no.
They could retcon it because remember at the end of She-Hulk kind of retconned her own finale too. So they could just retcon it that way.
You're right. She did.
You could say that that's
wall.
cheap. Yeah, you could say that that's cheap, which I'd be inclined to agree. But She-Hulk did technically break her own finale, and she was like, "Oh, you guys don't have Hulk powers no more," and they stopped having Hulk powers when she said that. And she was like, "You guys are gonna be arrested," and they were arrested in handcuffs. And she was like, "You guys go to jail. Daredevil's gonna come back," and then the Daredevil came back out of nowhere.
That is butt cheeks, but you're right. That could happen. Okay.
Hey, Bondo, I bought the complete story of the World Breaker Hulk, the original comic.
Nice.
I bought that 3 weeks ago, I think.
Is that the one that ends with him fighting toe to toe with Sentry?
Yep.
Yeah,
that's a good one.
That's a good one. That's a good one.
Also,
you got first print or you got copies?
I got the original.
That's a good one.
You better hang on to that.
That's a great one. You better do like how I did this. Am I killing joke? You better keep it in that plastic if you got it.
Oh yeah,
Keep it in that
keep it-
plastic.
plastic.
Get it
Keep it
graded
in
too.
that. Yeah.
Yeah,
Oh,
I'm
that's
gonna
a
get the
great
issue
one.
graded.
That's
Get
a
it
great
graded
one.
and signed.
That's
Hell
a great
yeah.
one. That's a great one.
Yes,
I
sir.
try. You know what? Applause for that.
I got that.
Applause for that. But you know, I will say this real quick. I have a video. I think there is a version of Hulk that gets slept on a lot, and I don't want to take